Well, welcome everyone to an Aeroflow race for real. An absolute cracker of a night out there. Great cars. I do have my co-commentator, the pocket rocket himself, Mr. Mazda.
How are you, Mark? It is great to be back here for another Aeroflow race for real here at Sydney Dragway. I'll tell you what, we've got some nice cars out the back. I did mention to you earlier upstairs, it is great to see PSC racing here tonight with their Tirana. I do have a little bit of information about that car, and I will talk about that when they come out. But of course, upstairs tonight, yourself, Mark, and of course the Bushman as well will be on the mic very soon as well. And Big Bad Benji. Welcome everybody watching via Facebook and YouTube on our official pages. And had some nice cars go down, but I tell you what, this little ute down here, Mark, sounds like it's got a little turbo on it. And, you know, a small car like that, turbo, it looks like fun.
Yeah, they does indeed. Those little Dados, they were such a sensational car. And, but they had a few different combinations that would go in, but the SR5 went into those things, and it just made them absolutely crack. Well, good bit of side-by-side racing, 12.9 to a 12.6.
Yeah, good launch out of the hole there for the ute as well. Next up, we've got the Volkswagen taking on one of our regulars in this Falcon ute that's got a set of radials on the rear end of it. These guys have been out here just about every week, and they're getting some good data on this car, but more importantly, some really good times and consistent times out of this car.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stu, they're not a little set of radials either. He's got some fairly big tyre jammed up underneath that car.
Yeah, what I like about this car too, Mark, they've kept it looking very true to what it was when it left the factory, aside from the wheels. But they're getting some good data on this car. I mean, out of the hole just then, beautiful, just rolled out, not one hint of tyre slip out of that car. This looks like it's on for a good pass.
Well, 10.5, 130 miles an hour. You're right there, Stu. Great pass for that car. And 13.0, 108 for the Aeroflow lane.
Well, mate, we've got the Nissan Navara down here. And if there's any Toyota fans that are watching via YouTube and Facebook, just be nice, guys. It is a Navara. It's you know, not a Hilux or anything like that. But look, he's out here for a bit of fun, and that's what we like to see. Of course, we do run our 4x4 and diesel nights throughout the year, and that's always a massive turnout. And as you can't see from upstairs, but this car's actually got a passenger in the car, so you can do that, providing your car doesn't go too quick. And just remember, guys, if you are going to be a passenger, it's exactly the same rules, virtually as what it is on the road. Do not hold your mobile phone up to video the pass, because our start team will be on you like a hawk and just tell you to put the phone down.
Okay, just a quick little bit of mop up down in the Aeroflow lane. So just a reminder to all the drivers out there, just ensure that you've got the air conditioning turned off in your car, which I don't think anyone's going to have it running today, but you do get condensation running out of the car, especially when you're doing your burnout. You find that when you're off the accelerator, all the fluids run forward, and usually the water will leak out of the evaporator of your air conditioning and dump on the track. Our officials will jump on that and more than likely wheel you out because all they can see is fluid coming out of your car. So the safety orientated, they will be all over that. So just make sure your air conditioning's turned off before you do even come into the staging lanes. Well, VW goes through 11.6, 118 miles an hour. to an 18.4, 74 miles an hour for the Navara.
Great to see the HQ back with 383 in it, taking on the 86. First timer down here as well on the little Toyota. So welcome to that drive, and welcome to everybody if it is your first time here at Sydney Dragway.
Good evening, Mark. How are you this evening?
Mate, I'm absolutely sensational. Mate,
Good
I
to
can
hear.
see you there punching the Strepsils. You got the Logie.
I was feeling a little bit all right before, and as you know, I've been struggling with this for a little while now. And I was just talking to Mum on the way here in the car, and I think the night air has got to me, so I was all croaky.
Yeah.
We don't want our listeners to have to listen to that all night.
Mate, this flu that's going round, it's a
Yeah.
killer. Like, I'm in my third week of the horrible thing.
Well, I've had it pretty much since I had the time off.
Yes. Yep.
Anyway, we'll survive.
That's it. It's only a cold.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the thing is it's not that bad. 11.04 with a 9 for the Monaro. That car was out here on Sunday, Mark, for the
Oh, yes.
Sunday's sessions with Mazushi Car Club. We had a fantastic day, actually. I don't know if you had a
Excellent.
chance to watch any of the live stream, but we had, I think, 140 entries racing.
Wow.
It was really good.
Wow.
The weather was awesome for drag racing. I think I counted one cloud went across the sky
Yeah.
at one point. That was it. And fantastic crowd in the house as well, from the car show, and also we had 14 burnout cars, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, so cracker of a
Huge.
day was Sunday. Nice weather too.
Yeah, it was a
was
really
quite warm.
great weekend. Well, 11.9, 120 miles an hour to a 14.0, 106 miles an hour. Well, we've got the this just mint-looking 57. Looks like this thing has just rolled off the showroom floor.
Yes, it does, but we've had some performance upgrades, I dare say.
Yeah, some good ones.
Some good ones. Pretty cool car. Nevertheless, the 57. I tell you what, we can see. I've never seen one here at Sydney Dragway. Is that your new whip out there? Is it out the back next to the light pole in the staging lanes on the left?
On the left.
The rolls.
Oh, the white one?
The big rolls there, mate.
Yeah, no.
No? Oh, is it might be Benji's.
Yeah, it's probably Benji's. Yeah. He's into the Prestige stuff.
I wonder how it'd go. It'd be the most comfortable ride down Sydney Dragway.
It would be. And I tell you what, they pump some horsepower.
They do.
But they've got some weight.
Yeah, they weigh
behind
like 4 ton. But
Yeah.
yeah, it looks really good with a nice set of wheels on it and that.
Yes. Yep.
11.48 with a 7 for the big Chevy, and a 12.41 with a 3 there for the Commodore. Brian Addising in the rocket lane, Mark.
Have you walked past that 57 when it's running?
I nearly did. He was in the staging lanes when I walked in to sign in.
It's not real cammy. It's got a nice
Bit of a
sedate idle. It's just got the right stuff on it by the sounds of it. You would think that motor be wild
Yes.
to push that car for 11 seconds.
I'm guessing that obviously the exhaust system probably hides the cam. Is that our Sylvia going down the racetrack in the
No,
Aeroflow lane?
VK.
VK, was it? There's a silver Sylvia that was going through scrutineering when I walked up through, and I could hear it idling, and I thought, that's not an SR20.
No,
It's got an LS in it.
I heard it coming off the
yes,
trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that?
Well, Joe Cervello has stepped backwards in time. He's back into the skyline. He's left the 180 at home.
Into Old Faithful.
Yeah.
He was complaining that it was cool and that his hands were cold. I said, put your gloves on, mate. Or put them in your pockets.
Well, he is driving a Nissan, so he's probably got a set of driving gloves in there somewhere and the peak cap.
Shots
So.
fired. Shots fired. They're on the parcel shelf.
Yeah. With the dog.
And the tissue box.
Yeah.
I better be nice. I think he still likes me.
No. Don't ever mistake that one.
Oh, right. Well, very still night here at Sydney Dragway. You can see the smoke just lingering around the start line. Joe away with a 116 light. Straight down the centre of the Aeroflow lane. Big wheel set for the Falcon. Flushes a flame out the pipe on the limiter. Several pedals. There was all sorts of stuff going on there for the Blue Falcon in the rocket lane. Still manages a 10-1 at 124 mile an hour.
Yeah, great pass there from the Falcon. A little bit of wheel work and some right footwork. Well, guys, we've got PC racing out here tonight with their Tirana. And I know this has been a favourite of yours, Mark, for a long, long time. These guys have actually had the car on the dyno the other night, Mark, and they were doing some tuning. It made 1,145 horsepower at the hubs on pump E85. The combination apparently hasn't changed that much, but what they have done is they put a new Haltech computer in there. So rather than using the standard LS that they were using before, this is now running a Haltech.
Yep.
And these guys out here tonight just doing a little bit of tuning.
Wow,
Well,
just a lazy 1,000 horsepower,
a bit
right?
over 1,000. But I guess the beauty of the Haltech is you can tune all your coils individually,
Yes.
map all your advanced curves, etc. Probably get a lot more deliverable horsepower, because from memory it struggled a little bit the last time that it was here. Very, very quiet run. 944
Wow,
with an 8,
yeah.
145 mile an hour.
I think there's a bit of pedaling going on
Yeah.
there as well.
Yeah. Well, it didn't sound like it was spinning the wheels though.
Huh.
Couldn't hear the tyres on the track cams. So track mics, not cams.
Yeah, that is a good thing with the Haltechs now, that you just have so much adjustability in them.
Well, it will also give you all the data. If you tick that box when you order it, you get all the data logging and all that sort of stuff too, which is handy.
Oh, it's just absolutely. You can come back after a pass. You're not pulling plugs and everything else. You just download it all out. It's all in front of you, and it's logged every single pass. So yeah.
Well, guys, we've got one of the members of Sydney Random Riders down here in the rocket lane. He's taking on the Ducati. Pretty wild-looking bike, this Ducati. I can't say I've ever seen this model before.
$3.99 light, the better of the two. In the rocket lane, I tell you what, they're not too far apart. The Aeroflow just in front of the 1,000-foot mark. 12.45 with a 7, 112 mile an hour to a 12.79 with a 4. Not a bad burnout from our rider in the rocket lane. Mr. Copping just rolling through the water in his two-stroke.
We've got the old school Kawasaki down here. 1390 is the time that it runs around. Taking on the big Suzuki.
We had a number of postie bikes here on Sunday, and of course there was a couple of stockers, and then there was two that were quite heavily modified.
Yep.
One of the riders going to second in the burnout with the gear change. He got right into it, that guy. I can't remember what time they were running, unfortunately, but there was two guys on. One guy was on a Grom, like a mini bike.
Yep.
And there was another guy on a monkey, an original monkey bike.
Oh wow!
And it went really well. It wasn't stock either. Oh. It was doing. Sorry, Ben. It was. I don't think it was that fast. Yeah, but he was. I don't know if he was in the 10s, but he was running 90 something mile an hour, nearly high 80 mile an hour.
Wow.
Because Pat and I were like, "Wow, where did that come from?" Yeah, so good to see something a little bit different, I guess. We've had the postie bikes here before at Aeroflow Race for Real. And I think standard they run like 24 seconds or something like that.
Yep.
There was one one of the modified ones threw a chain in the burnout. He got that repaired and came back out. But yeah, no, the fastest one was like a lime green colour.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was good. Something a little bit different. But yeah, good mix, very good mix of cars. Like everything from Aussie muscle right through to late model stuff through to American muscle and that sort of thing. But as I said, really strong numbers. Oh yes, and there was also a gentleman in an Elmo headpiece on his helmet. So he had the big Elmo.
Yeah.
13.01 with the 610, 2 mile an hour in the Rocket Land to take the win there.
Well, boys, we've got a couple of very, very nice looking Harleys about to make their way out.
Yeah, wow. Look how low that mudguard is on the back of the one in the Rocket Land. It's nearly on the ground.
Definitely doesn't want to pick the front wheel up.
No. No. It'll be spectacular, at least. We might get some sparks.
Yeah.
2-1 to the 60 for the rider in the Rocket Lane out in front, and I think that's where he's going to stay. And runs on through for a 12.86 at 103.
And 14.0, 93 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane.
Rider in the Aeroflow lane, they're getting a little bit crossed up at the end of the burnout, deciding to stage over towards the left-hand side of the racetrack.
All right, it's time for a little bit of VTEC Yo. We got the Honda Civic out here. This guy absolutely loves his off-street drag racing. Has a bunch of fun in this little Civic and taking on the Tesla. Actually, Steve, is it a bit rude of me to say that I'll be watching the Civic rather than the Tesla? Well, not too much between them in the reaction times. 0.7 and a 13.22 to a 12.79 there for the Tesla. We got the Subaru coming out now, taking on this beautiful looking ute. All right, well, little Dado has got the jump on the Subaru. The little Dado, 0.695 reaction time on the tree, nice and straight down the Rocket Lane. We're on through with 13.15. I see a gentleman whose car's just popped out of the tunnel. And we welcome David Martisevic out here tonight in his Cortina. Of course, one of our very tough super street races that we've got here in New South Wales. A guy that is extremely tough in competition racing. Of course, a while ago now, this car had a pretty big engine failure early last year, and Dave took some time away to get the engine rebuilt and has built it stronger. And I'll tell you what, the car is back to doing what it does best, and that's running very, very super consistent times. And for those people that are new to drag racing, it's not always about how fast your car can go. It's most importantly, it's about consistency and cutting down that tree. And Dave's one of the best in the business when it comes to his reaction time. And there we go, .038 on the tree there for David Martisevic. And the Cortina runs on through with a 10.76. He was on the brakes just before the finishing line. Great pass there from David Martisevic. We've got the Navara back out now, up against the little Volkswagen Golf. Now also guys, if you're up in the stand, don't forget Jackie has got the track shop open tonight as well. She's got some great t-shirts up there, got some hats. I think there might be some jumpers up there as well, so make your way up there. G'day, Will. And if you're feeling hungry guys, don't forget we've got the Top Fuel Cafe open down in the pits. We've also got Troy here tonight with gas-fired pizzas, Joe's Ice Cream's up there, and of course Denise up there as well. The Go Nuts for Donuts, hot coffee and warm donuts, not perfect for a night like this. Now coming out very soon, there's a car that's about to come out, an old school, and I mean old school, Hyundai XL. I have not seen one of these cars in a very long time, because we're all fairly aware of the newer model ones because they do race them in the Hyundai XL series around the country. But they have one of the older ones here. It's great to see him out enjoying his car in a safe and controlled environment. We've got the XR6 Falcon about to come out now. Now it's got a pretty sizable dump pipe on it, or dumpy as they call it. I thought mine was big. I reckon this thing's like 4 inches on that dump pipe. That is huge. Taking on the little Toyota Yaris. I mean, here in Australia, the Yarises, all right, they're popular, they're reliable, but you know, not a lot of people really grasp them. Whereas some of the cars I've seen from Japan, with some of the modifications they do to them, they are wild, absolutely wild.
Well, over here in Australia, Stu, the early Yarises weren't really a performance car, were they? They were just a pocket rocket that you know, Mum would shoot down the shop and go and do a bit of shopping in. But as the Yaris has progressed, we know where it's gone now.
Absolutely, but I mean, it's funny though, because you look at this model and I've seen some pretty wild body kits on these things, and I mean, some of them I look at and go, yeah. But, you know, each to their own. Everybody builds their car not to please other people, it's to please themselves. But it's great to see a lot of first-timers here tonight, Mark and Steve. They're coming out and give it a crack, and why not?
Yeah, you're dead right. It is just an absolute blast. You can't really tell someone what it's like for that first time out there on the track, can you? You know, like it's hard to explain getting out there. You get a little bit of nerves. But yeah, really, really excited as well. And as we say to everyone, just go out. You're racing yourself. Don't worry about the person next to you. You don't even have to do a burnout if you don't want to. Just cruise on out, get a couple of passes in, get a bit of confidence behind you, and then if you want to start going into burnouts, go into burnouts. But first time you come out, it is just an absolute blast of fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, this will be a good race. 2 first-timers. We've got the little N14 Pulsar taking on the Hyundai XL Sprint. Now, I have driven one of these Pulsars in the past. Of course, one of my friends used to own one. They are a fun little car. Of course, when they brought out the Triple S Pulsar, as we all know, that thing was an absolute weapon. But these two, just small capacity engines, but they're out here and they're having fun. Be cool if they're racing each other. I'll have to find out.
Well, Stu, I'm very surprised with the, obviously with the one-make series for the Hyundais that they do in circuit racing, the value of that model Hyundai has gone through the roof to try and get a good one. So you can turn it into a race car. I tell you what, they're not too far apart from each other. And this now in front, 1783 with a 677 mile an hour.
Look at the...
Yeah, very close to the reaction times. Absolutely nothing in that.
So for first timers, a good bit of racing.
Yeah. And that sort of car, obviously, with those sorts of 60 foots, it is a little bit more difficult to cut a light, especially if you haven't done it before, because the car doesn't react the way that you think that it might. So it doesn't mean you can't cut a light. It just means you've got to leave a bit earlier than where your brain's telling you to go. But obviously do the same thing each time, and you'll get there. Like we see a four-wheel drive sitting here in the Aeroflow lane, the Patrol, I think it is. Not quite sure where he'd be wanting to leave the starlight. I'm guessing maybe as the middle light is on, perhaps?
I'd probably say about the second white light at the top.
Oh, that's a bit cheeky. That's just a little harsh.
It probably was, but yeah.
Well, it's another first timer down here, boys, in the Hyundai i30N. In beside him, we've got the Sheepy's Garage Nissan Patrol. Of course, those guys normally come out in a Hyundai i30N. It's normally bright pink. But tonight they've got the Patrol out for a bit of fun.
This
the
one's
little
a bit bigger.
i30N sounding great going down the rocket lane, a 1480. Not a bad pass at all. Got a couple of tough Golfs about to make their way out. Especially this white one down here, boys. It certainly looks like it's had a fair bit of work done to it.
Yeah, it's got a little body kit on it, and then I think that was the car the driver was letting the air pressure out of the tyres in the staging lanes tonight. I thought, oh, let's get a bit serious.
Yep.
But I guess with these, all-wheel drive cars, it's not that hard. Well, not playing it down, but we see these cars often into the low 11, high 10 mark without going too ballistic on the tuning.
Yeah, they do have a very big potential in the V-dubs, the Audis. They don't have to do a real lot to them, just a few bolt-ons and put a bit of a tune, and yeah, they're knocking on 11 seconds. Yeah,
like I said, that car's just gone 1.73 to the 60, no wheel spin, no nothing, and 11.20, 122 mile an hour.
Phenomenal. Yep, absolutely.
Can I just ask a favour, boys? I've just been stopped by a driver who's coming out in that dark grey Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Apparently he's on the live feed fairly regularly. He calls himself Fishing King. That name doesn't ring a bell on the live stream?
I think, I wonder if that name was, I saw that name on Sunday, I'm pretty sure. Or last week.
Okay.
Fishing King. There's a gentleman that's racing his car downstairs in a grey Golf that has the username Fishing King on the chat. And I vaguely remember seeing it. Yes, he said he chats regularly. And tonight that he's racing, he's got no excuse not to chat. Just quietly. No, he has time to chat if he wishes to. He's got support from some of our other viewers on the stream. Thank you, MyRX2.
Well, this is Fishing King down here in the Tiguan. Now, just below you in the tunnel, boys, it hasn't come out yet. If you are well known, if you know the Blown Outlaws, of course, there's the Unos brothers who do the burnout demonstrations. They've got the Ute, and I think it's the Capri is the other car they've got. Well, tonight they've got their S15 drift car out here tonight, and they're going to bring it out for a bit of a run.
That's the silver one.
So you know the car, Steve?
No, that was the one
That
that I
was the
saw
one.
in the
Oh, with the
stadium
LS in
lanes.
it?
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
I don't know. There was a Unos that ran across the road with a T-bucket as well.
Okay.
And there's another Unos Racing, I think they have they had a 32 Roadster in the show down at Rose Hill a couple of weeks ago.
Ah.
And there's also a Unos with an Anglia too, with a blown small block in it.
Okay.
That's run here. It was a flat black.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen it run with the supercharged motor in it, but he was racing with a small block in it. Falcon in the Aeroflow lane, away first, and we'll get to the end. But I'll tell you what, the Tiguan 12.0 with a 7, 120 mile an hour for the Tiguan.
That's not
I wasn't
too shabby.
expecting that at all. That's 0.8 of a second quicker
Yes.
than the Falcon that was in the Aeroflow lane. Thank you. The difference there is the reaction time. I wonder if our viewers knew that his Tiguan was that fast.
Well, take a look at this wagon, boys. It's got a pretty big set of rubber on the rear end of it as well.
It definitely doesn't sound like a Gemini.
Yes, my RX2, that's what I thought, but I can't say that on the mic. I have to be a little bit more.
Well, this Gemini's just holding out the Chrysler. 12 to
Yeah, wow.
108 miles an hour.
Tonight's the night of surprises so far. Commodore Ute taking on the Commodore Sedan of Brian Adder-Singh in the rocket lane. Doing his usual smoke show there in the burnout.
Yep. There's Commodore Ute down here. Looks nice and tidy.
Now, Mark, you'll be happy to know that this Commodore that's just pulled into the water box has got a nice big supercharger hanging out of the bonnet, which would be right up your alley. It's got number plates as known.
Is that because it's blown? Isn't there a saying you're not known unless you're blown or something
Could
like that?
be. But I'll tell you what, it does sound tough. I heard it just lumping its way through the scrutineering.
And one of the Unos boys coming out now with the Sylvia. It is a drift car, but hey, you can drag race those.
It's a very tidy looking Sylvia as well.
It is a very nice looking car.
The VK Commodore has got a bit of patina on it.
.156 to the 60 for the VK. That supercharged engine working well. I thought traction might have been a bit of an issue for him. 10.28 with the 7, 133 through the finish line mark.
Indeed. 12.0, 118 miles an hour for the Sylvia. The VK just absolutely launched out,
Yeah.
didn't it?
I thought maybe it might have had a bit of wheel spin on the start
Yeah.
line, but no such issues, which is great. The big Chevy taking on the XE Falcon.
It's a really well set up car, like just plenty of revs behind it.
Well, they both are. The Falcon is still running the 250 Crossflow, according to Ben.
The XPT 250, the old 250 Crossflow. These guys put that engine to good work.
017 on the tree on the red side for the 57. And gets there first with an 11:49 at 118 mile an hour.
And 11.8, 110 miles an hour. That Falcon went out at a 1660 foot.
It launches so well, the Falcon.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
It's obviously set up very well with the converter and gear ratios, etc.
Yep.
All right, Joe Sorbello out for another run. Taking on Brett Stutchbury in the rocket lane. Brett in the Commodore. That smoke just lingering around the start line.
Yeah, it's very still out there at the moment, isn't it, Steve? It's just... Oh, Joe, getting a little bit out of shape. Very unusual for that car.
You don't want to go over there too far, Joe. There's probably not much traction in the middle of the racetrack. And a 913 with an 141 mile an hour there.
Yeah, I think he sort of shut that one down a little bit. And 11.0, 132 miles an hour. Well, this Commodore, this Falcon back out again up against the VF Commodore. We've seen this Falcon just absolutely get pedalled out of there.
He did.
Wheels dangling in the air.
Yeah, it's Khalil Mustafa down here in the Commodore from House of LS. Back in his trusty seat, taking on Black Track Performance Racing.
Again, a couple of pedals for the Falcon on the hit. Rolls out of the throttle at half track. Halil runs through for a 939 with a 147 mile an hour.
Wow. 9.8, 116 for the Falcon.
He was doing 125 at half track. Yeah, wow.
You could just hear that thing as a click second gear and just come on boost how potent that car is.
Well, saying to Pat Elliott on Saturday when we were up at the Winners, I can't remember if I told you, there was a FG Falcon in Top Sportsman, and caught my eye was the big turbo.
Yeah.
Had the bonnet up on Sunday morning. And so I wandered over and had a bit of a chat. The driver came over and we started talking. It's street registered in Queensland. Making a casual 2100 at the tyres.
Wow.
Had a big billet inlet manifold, and another set of injectors in it, and pretty flash transmission, driveline setup. But yeah, he wants to be one of the first barras in the country into the sixes, street registered.
Wow.
That's the goal.
9.2, 145 miles an hour for the Tirana. Well, by the sounds of it there, Steve, with all that set up, it won't be too far away.
No, he was running, I think 770s ET-wise, but 182 mile an hour or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
which tells me, there's the horsepower, is 182
Yes.
mile an hour.
It's just getting all that horsepower to the ground.
It had good size radials on the back, but not, I don't think, not what you would normally expect to see in a very low 7-second car.
Yeah.
.205 to the 60 for the rocket lane, and we'll take the win here. 11.54 with a 123 miles an hour.
And 11.7, 124 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, mate.
Look, I know you and Steve have got your eyes on that 57 Chevy. And don't get me wrong, that car is stunning, but I think I've just found a car that eclipses it. It's a Sandman panel van
Oh, yeah.
with airbrushing on the side of it. This thing looks wicked. Little bonnet scoop on it. It's got the shifter, race shifter on the inside of it as well.
Sounds very
Still running street rubber.
sounds very retro with a little airbrushing and that. We kind of missed that in the street scene, don't we, Mark?
Yeah, well, it was for the era of that car, for the Sandman. That was all about getting murals all over your panel van and
Suggestive stickers.
Yes, yeah. Put all the furry hair all stuck all over the roof and the walls and yep.
Everything. What do they say? Everything comes around.
Yeah.
Interesting to see. Is that it there we can see in the middle of the staging lane 4? It's a wagon of some form.
Yeah, panel van there, yep.
I did think he was going to say that the Rolls Royce is now in the staging lanes, but wasn't lucky enough.
No.
It's moved on. 11.19 with a 131 mile an hour there for the Aeroflow lane to take the win.
And 12.0 for the Rocket Lane. We got a nice black Cortina down in the staging lanes.
Oh, you're right, Tony. How could we forget the fluffy dice? We forgot the fluffy dice.
Oh, yes, yep. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you want to watch a movie that really does that era really well, whack on Running on Empty.
On what?
Running on Empty.
Okay.
Really highlights the days of the XYs and...
So that's an Australian movie?
Yep.
Guessing. Okay. I might check that out.
yeah.
Well, boys, I'm just down in the staging lanes and I've got Halil Mustafa just down here from the House of LS. Mate, first of all, it's great to see you back in the green machine.
Thanks, Stewie.
Mate, I know you were talking to me last time. You're doing a few little changes with it. Have you put it back?
Yeah, we did. It didn't like it. Yeah, it just didn't like it. So we just went back to what we had last year. It was only something small. It wasn't making the kind of power we wanted. So we went back, and first run out, it's back to where it was last year.
Well, mate, you know, one thing about this car, it's always been consistent. I know you guys do try to push the envelope with this car, but with what the combination you've got in there now, consistency is the key, mate. It's just now getting that power up and reaction time down, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, it did a 136.60 for a 2-ton car. It's, you know, it's a factory box, it's a factory converter, factory rear end. It drives around like a baby, so it's, you know, we're happy with where it's at. It's got a little bit more left in it, but mate, it's still a 6.2. There's no fancy heads, no fancy cranks. It's just a really good combo that Oz and Gertsch have put together, and you know, a little bit of fine tuning, but pretty much we're out here now to sort of like get things with this, and that way customer cars know they can walk in, get the same thing. We'll set it up for them, and they can go out and bang the same numbers because it's pretty much full street trim. It's 6L90E, factory tail shaft, factory drive shafts, okay? Still got the big brakes on it. Yeah.
And mate, tell me, for those people that are watching via YouTube or anybody that's here at the track, whereabouts can they find House of LS?
House of LS, so they're in Eunora in Sydney. If they go on Facebook or Instagram and go to House of LS and speak to Oz, mate, he'll set them up. You know what it's like. We've been coming here for a while. The best thing about it, he's always here for track support. It doesn't matter if it's 1 car or 5 cars. Oz and Gertsch turn up, mate. They put the time in. You know, they got families at home as well. But, mate, we drive it here, we drive it home. That's it.
The ultimate street car, 9-second street car.
Mate, it's pretty good, eh? 9.3, just bangs out 9.3s. Mate, soft launch, like off the foot brake, like 1,500 revs. It's not even on a, you know, nothing in it. It's just, you know, it's just really nice. Aircon's on. I've got seat warmers. So if your bum gets cold, you can sit in the seat.
I might take on that a little bit later. We'll see how we go, mate. Thank you for the.
Stewie. Take care.
Thank you, mate. Boys, back up to you in the studio.
Yeah, thanks there, Stewie. And how good of an advertisement is it for House of LS?
Yes.
Like, as the guys say, drive it out, drive it home. You hear punch out 9.3s, and it's still streetable
Yep.
to just cruise around.
Seat warmers on the way home.
Yep.
Especially tonight.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Ultimate race car.
And we say it all the time, don't we, Mark? If you're getting really good support from a workshop and you want to
Yes.
give him a shout out, by all means, approach Stu. He's walking around down there with a microphone. Sometimes he's got red hair, sometimes he's got grey. I'm sure that he's more than happy to give a workshop a shout out, because obviously you're advertising to the people here at the racetrack, but also those that are watching on our live streams, and could be a good avenue for the shop to get a few extra customers and a little bit more of a database to build off, you know?
Absolutely. Well, how many people now are sitting out in the stands or at home on YouTube that are just doing the numbers now on their on their LS to send it down and turn it into a 9-second animal?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's some really good things that Halil just mentioned there in the launch. You know, we know that the I don't know if the HSV rear end is different to what's in the standard Commodore or the SS, but typically the rear end, I'm touching wood, is typically been a little, the axles have been a little bit of a weak link for the GM products.
Yep.
And you know, for him leaving off the foot brake at only 1,500 RPM and still smashing out a 1.5 60 foot, I think he said. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'd imagine that your axles will sustain that.
Yeah, and
pretty consistently.
Without sounding, like being rude, but that's a soft launch, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's what you want, like to. It's easy on the whole drive line.
Yes.
But it produces the goods at the other end of the track.
Yes. Or even on the hit, the 1.5 60 foot.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that for a street car.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nah. The guys are definitely doing the right stuff out there.
Oh, it's this really nice Falcon Ute down in the rocket lane. Looks really nice with the black wheels on it, the dark green paint.
Yep.
In really good condition, taking on what is that in the Aeroflow lane? Is this? I can't see through the smoke.
Nah, I got lost on that one too. It disappeared in the mist.
Yes. 1043 with a 132 mile an hour for the Falcon.
And 12.1, 119 miles an hour for the Aeroflow. That's a pretty good pass as well.
Not too bad at all. David Matasevic in the Sporty Cordy doing his burnout right now in front of us. Little 347 Windsor in this car.
So I know this car went through a period where it actually detonated a motor and it was off the track for a while. Do we know if he's still in small cube Ford, or did he up the cube?
I'm not sure, but this is another one of those cars, Mark, that just does everything right. You'll see here another 10-second pass when he gets to the finish line. 11.12. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in the high 10s consistently. But yeah, he drives it. It's a street car, you know.
Perfect.
Just does everything it should. 110 mile an hour.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah, mate.
I've just been having a chat to Halil and his engine builder, just off mic, and I can tell you what, there's some exciting news that'll be coming from that very soon. I've just been told that they've got a Camaro, which is in the build at the moment, And they're aiming to run, it runs 850 horsepower on 98 pump fuel
Wow.
for mid-9s, maybe 9.4.
Okay. Well, that'll be good to see. I must say, I've got a very soft spot for the Camaros. A great looking car.
Did he say what year model's due? Late model one or a... He didn't say, did he?
No.
This is very, very nice. Monaro going through its burnout procedure. A little bit crossed up out of the water. Let's see what it can do. Was running pretty consistently here on Sunday.
I think it runs fairly consistent 11s, this car. If not quicker.
1.6 to the 60, and the Aeroflow lane getting all crossed up on the hit. 11.27 with an 8 there for the Monaro.
And 13.4, 108 miles an hour.
We need to find out what's in this little Datsun, Stu.
But just out the back, guys, I was just having a quick talk with a guy who on the one, and he was just telling me that Galano Engineering have helped him out with the car as well.
Ah, I see.
So, great to see. And also, Grant, the 8 are here tonight as well with the SRKE Corolla. This thing is beautiful. And we got the Nissan Exit back as well. The little yellow bumblebee coming out. Great to see that driver back again tonight as well for Aeroflow.
I'll tell you what, this little Dado coming on nice and strong top end.
It sure is. 13.2, 109 miles an hour. Left the start line with a 2.4 second 60 foot. I'm guessing it's either SR20 or an FJ.
Yes.
Manually shifted, of course.
Yeah, both two really good engine combinations for him.
All right, looks like the Ute will take the win at the finish line. 18.08 with a 2.73 mile an hour through the finish line to a 21.9 at 52 for the Patrol in the Rocket Lane.
Well, Steve, I just had a quick talk with the driver of the Toyota Supra. Because he's one of our regulars here as well. The A90 GR. It's last week he had standard road tyres on it. He just wasn't getting the grip off the line, so he's put some sticky rubber on it. He's running a set of Falcons on the rear end. So he wasn't sure whether he needs to do a burnout or not. And that's, I just said to him, just trial and error, go out, see what it likes.
Yeah, well, of course, as Pat was saying on Sunday, there's no need with a traditional road tyre to go and do a massive burnout. Yes, they're fun, but once the tyre's hot, they're hot. There's no need to actually go too ballistic because you're not actually going to achieve anything. The tyre's not going to actually perform any better because you've done a monstrous burnout.
The rubber compound's different on street tyres compared to a
radial, even
or
to a slick. Yeah, they're all different. So they all require a little bit different treatment in how you warm them up.
If you overdo it, you can actually overdo it.
Yes.
You will make them slippery.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But I'd suggest just coming out of the water, keep them spinning so you make sure that they don't stop in the water, so you obviously haven't got any moisture on them. But obviously a little bit of smoke's good.
Exactly, and then you can just step up from there. You know, if you feel there's still a little bit more left in them, go next burnout, go a little bit bigger. If it gets slippery and, you know, like you're losing in a 60 foot, well, then you know you've gone too far, you pull it back a bit.
DJ Stewie volunteers to be outside. He's not locked out. He's welcome in whenever he needs to.
Well, sometimes we don't lock him out.
Yeah, well, the door's open tonight.
Yeah.
It's cold. They're not heartless.
Yeah. It's cold, but the lift's not working either.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll tell you what, Steve, we might take a little bit of a break and go up to the big screen with a few words from our sponsors. We'll be back very, very shortly here. Aeroflow, race for real.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
I've chosen to use VP Racing fuels since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now. I just have a really personal trust with VP Racing fuels.
Running on the ragged edge of blowing up and not, a lot of it has to do with the race fuel, and that's what we rely on, VP Racing fuels. VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent, it's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
Are you a motoring enthusiast? Shannon's are giving you the chance to win a USA Supercars drive experience at the Circuit of the Americas and Las Vegas racetracks. Drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini and Porsche. Visit Dallas, Austin, Las Vegas and LA. The trip for two includes airfares, luxury accommodation and $10,000 spending money for eligible Shannon's Club members. Plus, win a new Indian Motorcycle Sport Chief. To enter, take out new Shannon's insurance on your special car, daily drive, bike or home. Go online or call Shannon's on 13 46 46.
Aeroflow, famous for our massive range of hose, fittings and performance products. Air filters, oil filters, fittings, engine and transmission parts, fuel systems, tanks, silicone hose, exhaust, air conditioning, turbo and nitrous accessories and more. Get your free catalogue and shop online now at aeroflowperformance.com.
Bang shift shifters from Aeroflow Performance are truly the modern shifter for the modern age. Featuring a full bespoke billet case, all shifters are designed for right-hand drive vehicles with an LED lit gear position indicator. Available in either ratchet or gated options, as well as OEM replacement shifters for popular Holden and Ford vehicles. A large range of Bang shift spares are available for each shifter that includes shifter cables, brackets, lever and gate kits, trans brake buttons and drop boxes for the ideal mounting solution. Shift into gear and check out a full listing at aeroflowperformance.com.
How would it be if we funded a pilot program for you to run that enabled you to bring some vision impaired kids onto the Saints Play program?
Oh wow, that would mean the world. My reward is the smile on the kids' faces.
And since you've given so much to others, we'd also like to do something for you personally. How would it feel if Pepper sent you, your partner, and your daughter Molly to the Gold Coast for a few days?
Yeah, awesome. I don't know what to say. It amazes me. Thank you very much.
Stay informed, up to date and entertained thanks to the Western Weekender, The Western Weekender is Penrith's leading free and local newspaper, delivering the best content from on-the-ground journalists and providing businesses with direct access to potential customers. News, sport, entertainment, puzzles and so much more. The Western Weekender is the heartbeat of Penrith and it's out every Thursday. Get your free copy at selected locations in the area, home delivered, or check out westernweekender.com.au.
Boosted turbochargers from Aeroflow Performance are designed for the automotive enthusiast who wants optimal performance at a competitive price. We have a range of turbochargers in both ceramic ball bearing and 360-degree journal bearing options to suit your power goals from 200 up to 3,000 horsepower. To help turbocharge your vehicle, Aeroflow Performance also have a large range of turbocharger accessories. From steam pipe turbo manifolds, external wastegates and intake and exhaust solutions, you can have your car boosted in no time. For a full listing, check out aeroflowperformance.com.
Speed Addict Clothing Co. Fast clothes for fast people. Shop now at speedaddictco.com.au.
I have this incredible drive to succeed. I've just got this ambition, I want to get on the podium. I think there's a lot of people that have an older mentality and don't think women belong in motorsport. And that's one thing I'd like to prove a lot of people wrong. It's you in the car and it's your ambition and your drive to win. As soon as that helmet goes on, that's it. I'm Brooke Newson. I'm a sprint car and outlaw car driver.
Well, welcome back everybody to Aeroflow Race for Real, and we've got the Sandman down here. On Song Performance, one of the businesses helping out the Sandman. The Commodore getting a little bit tardy off the line, as did the Sandman. Still picking up good speed, and at 11:35, that's a damn good pass there for that car. A couple of tough V8s down on track. Yes, the Nissan has got a V8 in it if you're watching by YouTube. From wherever you are around the world, the big Chevy, big hard cracking the lights there. 0.839 red, but hey, he's trying, and that's the main thing. 11:28 for him, not a bad pass.
All right, guys, we are back here. Aeroflow, race for real.
I have to send Stu to find out what's in that pedal van that just ran. The one that he was talking about with the graphics on the side just went 142 mile an hour.
I say LS turbo.
You're probably right, but I don't recall him saying what was in it.
Stu, do you remember what running gear was? Actually, I think he got his earpiece out. Maybe he's got a battery problem there. Yeah. So when we get a chance, we will grab Stu and find out, because that was a weapon.
Yes, certainly unexpected.
Yes, it was indeed. He was virtually just bumping in the stage.
.1268 with a 5, 111 mile an hour in the Aeroflow lane.
And 13.6, 105 miles an hour for the Rocket lane.
The XE Falcon back out for another skid in the Rocket lane.
Falcon on a by run, getting really out of shape off the line.
Still went 1.6 to the 60.
Yeah. It was just sideways.
I don't know. Surprised how well that car leaves for a 250, considering it wouldn't be lightweight.
Yeah.
At the best, it'd be 1,500 kilos.
Yep.
Probably closer to 1,800.
Okay. Cougar? It's not a Challenger, is it?
Yeah,
Cuda?
Cuda, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All I can tell you is it's big.
And heavy.
Yes.
Well, 12.7, 102 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane to a 12.7, 103. Well, that's close enough.
Yeah, very much so. It was the 10th in the across the finish line, and that was roughly the margin on the reaction time there. So would have been a very even race if the reaction times were a little bit closer.
Yep.
We saw Bello there go 007.
Yes. Yeah, and that it was a good pass too. It's a real low 60 foot and great ET and miles an hour for it. 11.6, 131 miles an hour to a 15.0, 91 miles an hour.
Well, boys, I'm down here near the staging lanes, and Ross is here. You're back from sunny Queensland, mate. You went to the Winter Nationals, and they obviously let you back over the border, which is great because you are our #1 spectator.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I had a good time up there. The weather was fantastic. It was really good, and good 4 days, and some good winds up there and this type of thing. But it's good to be back on my home track as well. And I'll never leave here. And people often say to me, well, you're back here again? I said, yeah. I said, they'll probably bury me here one day, but not for a long time. No, it's good to be back here. I always enjoy it. I'm trying to get my beast back on the road at the moment because, unfortunately, I've done a little bit of engine damage to it. So I'm just going to try to decide when he's going to fix it and all the rest of it, the usual things you've got to go through, you know?
Absolutely. Now, I've got a bit of a question to ask you, and I was just, had a chat with the boys upstairs, and, there's a Sandman panel van here. Have you got any fond memories of a Sandman?
Yes. Back in the 80s, I had a HZ panel van, and it had a 253 with the N20 box in it and Salisbury diff, and it does. I was actually talking to the guy before in Scruton there, and I went straight up to him and said, mate, you're bringing back memories for me, mate. I said, that's a long memory for me because I had that car about 5 years, and they were a big thing in them days in the 70s and 80s, and I think the collectors now that got them, they're still a nice car to have now because they're a rarity now.
Well, they are rare as hen's teeth. You very rarely see them around. I mean, Holton did try to bring out the modern day ones and just didn't have the same feel to it, did it?
No, that's right. And everybody went. They used to, I won't say because ladies, they used to call them something wagons, but guys used to deck them out and this type of thing. And I know a couple of other friends that had them as well, and they were a popular motor vehicle, and really classy. I haven't seen one for about about 5 years or something like that. Yeah. No, I compliment. I said to the guy, that's I've got to give him credit. It's a beautiful looking job, you know.
Well, it certainly is, and of course we've got a great turnout of cars here tonight, but we are still got the scrutineering open, lanes are still open. If you want to come out and race, guys, you can now. Just on a bit of a funny subject, we've got a gentleman whose name is Gus Man, who's one of our regulars, who tunes in via YouTube every week and just about every event, and great supporter of Sydney Dragway and watching. But Gus Man said he's at home, he's lying down. All I want to say to you, Gus Man, is don't you know it's winter? Back to you boys upstairs.
Thanks there, Stu.
We'll leave that there.
Mate, I can see Ross cruising around in the panel van back in the day.
Well, the 80s, it was 40 years ago.
40 years ago? Yeah, I'll show me age, sorry.
That's all right. I'm born early 80s, mate.
I was driving, back then I would have been driving my hatchback Tirana.
Okay. Nice.
Sorry, mate.
Very good lights on the Christmas tree. 088 for the, I think that's Brett Copping in the Aeroflow lane, to an 095 for Christopher Hocking in the Rocket lane with an own. Yeah, so only
Steve and Mark, just quickly, I am down here in staging lanes. They do have the bonnet up on the Sandman. Steve, you're 100% right. It is a turbo V8 in it. Great looking car. Now, this gentleman's on the phone, so I won't bug him.
I'll get him on phone.
But we need to find out about this car. I need to know the details, all right? Because, you know, you hear it Race for Real. There's people watching all around the world. First of all, mate, what's your name?
Brock.
Welcome, mate. Mate, tell me a little bit about your Sandman. You've got a pretty serious motor underneath that bonnet.
It's an Iron Block 6 litre LS with a 88mm turbo. Makes around 800 at the wheels.
Yes. Yes.
800 at the wheels.
Yes.
The Sandman. That's awesome. Who did all the engine work for you, mate?
On-song Performance in Queensland. And all the fab work was done by Wayne Shimbry from Shimbry Customs.
Well, mate, they've done a fantastic job of this car. It is clean. It is tidy. I'm almost going to go out on a limb and say, mate, it is too clean to bring out on the drag strip.
Street car.
Yep.
Well, mate, it's a credit to you as the owner, mate. Well done. And hopefully we will see more of you here at Race for Real.
Thanks there, Stu. Answered our question.
He's pretty good like that, Stu. You ask him a question and he'll set him a task and he'll go and do it.
Yep. Yeah, indeed.
Casual 800 from an 88 turbo. Hence the mile an hour.
Yes, indeed.
All right, our Golf back in the rocket lane this time. Ran a low 11-second pass earlier tonight. One 860 foot.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got a good competitor beside him. 11.6, 118 miles an hour to a 12.3, 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, so the ET, I think, difference there coming from the 60 foot. The Golf a little bit quicker. I think it's a Subaru in the Aeroflow lane. Apologise if I've got that wrong. All right, Falcon in the Aeroflow lane, going through its burnout procedure, and the little Datsun.
Little Datto 1600.
Let's see if we can get a 13.1 out of this thing. I think it was a 13.2, 109 mile an hour in his last run. I heard a clunk there.
Yes.
That's not good.
Yep.
Doing the right thing though, moving over to the side.
So a bit of luck, it doesn't have anything leaking out of it, but from what we can see here, it doesn't look like it's leaving any trail at all, so which is good. But yeah, definitely done the right thing. Knew we had a problem, got over to the side of the track. Usually the best thing is just to pull it up right there and then shut it down. And then we can get our track officials to check it, make sure everything's okay. If everything looks good, they'll let you know and you can just do what the gentleman's done or the person driving the vehicle now has done. Or if there is a problem with it, they will connect it up to the quad bike and tow it back out.
Yep, in this case, doesn't look like there's any urgency to clean anything up, so which is good.
Yep.
We'll get our next pair of cars going through their burnout procedure, and it looks like we've got our four-wheel drive utility in the rocket lane taking on the Falcon.
Hitting the Navara Ute up against the Falcon Ute. Looks like we've got another really nice looking LX Tirana just about to come down underneath the tunnel.
Falcon runs on through for 13.74, 109 mile an hour, so pretty good speed for the ET.
And 18.373 miles an hour. Well, Honda Civic down in the Aeroflow lane. Is that a Hyundai?
Yeah, early Hyundai's down there.
Yep. It's good to see the P-plater in the Aeroflow lane. Howdy, having some fun?
098 light for the Hyundai. Looks like the later model Honda has driven on around or past at half track. Let's see what the result is at the finish line. 16.98 with a 7.81 mile an hour to an 18.54 at 72 for the Hyundai in the rocket lane there.
Or the Patrol up against the Pulsar.
From up here, the Pulsar looks very clean under lights.
Yeah.
Mark, for its age. You reckon he should be going now? Just leave off the first light, you reckon?
First light. Maybe second. All depends on the reaction of your car, doesn't it?
And the Pulsar takes the win. 18.19 with a 175 mile an hour through the finish line. To a 19.0 for the Patrol. Of course, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're hungry or thirsty or otherwise, there's plenty of food vendors around the venue serving pretty much anything up that you would desire. We've got gas-fired pizza up there. We've got Go Nuts for donuts. And, of course, the trackside, the cafeteria down at the pits. And Joe's Ice Cream's up on the Western Mound as well, and I think the track shop would also be open if you're feeling the need for a Sloppy Joe or some sort of track merch.
Mm.
Yeah, the track shop will be open for around about another hour. So if you do feel the need for something a little bit warmer than what you've got on, go and check out the track merch.
Might have to take a wander up there. It's coming up my daughter's birthday, and she's nagging me for some merch. So we'll have to go up and have a look.
Anything in particular?
She's happy with anything as long as it's a present.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about you boys up in the studio, but there is something about a Harley that's got a whole heap of chroma over it. And it's just super duper clean. Is this yours?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it, mate.
It's at the airfield to try and get some airflow. We're going to run into the 13s.
Well, mate, it's not always about going fast. It's also about looking good. And
It's about going fast.
What, on that?
It's about going faster than before.
Yeah, all right, faster. That's fair enough. But I'll tell you what, all I can say to you, brother, is I'm glad I'm not cleaning your bike. Nah, it's beautiful, the big Harley. We got one of the bikes here from Darkside Customs here tonight as well. Of course, I just recently watched the video that Andrew Hawkins put up from GDR Festival. And the Darkside Customs crew were here. Of course, they had their car out here and a few of the bikes, the big Harleys. And geez, what a great event. I'm so annoyed, Steve, that I missed it because it looked amazing.
It was a really good event, Stu, and there was a bit of everything for everybody at that event. Oh, big smoking of the tyres in the Aeroflow lane there. We
wasn't
don't
changing gears.
suggest that you try and make your way down the racetrack in that fashion, because you get that wheel speed going and then you start to move a little bit out of a straight line, and those walls come up very, very quickly.
Yeah, I did too. I think it was... It didn't sound like it wanted to change gears. It sounded like it was just banging on the limiter.
It was spinning the wheels though, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, it worked.
On the subject of smoke, we do have burnouts tonight. So that'll be coming up a little bit later. Now we got David Martisevic down here in the Cortina taking on the little Renault.
So, Stu, you said we're down in the Aeroflow lane. We've got a Renault.
Matasevic went for the reaction time there, 0.34 red. And runs on through for a 10.90, 127 mile an hour.
And 14.7, 96 miles an hour. Hey, Stu, did you say that we had a Renault down there in the Aeroflow lane?
Yeah, that was a Renault. It's not very often I say that word here at Aeroflow Race for Real, but you never know what's going to come through the gates day to day. They are a quick car, the Renaults. They're not as popular as what they probably could be. But I've got a mate of mine that's actually got one, a Megane, not that model. He's actually got a more modern day one, and it is quick. I'll give it that. But down on track now, we've got a tricked out looking Volvo, and tricked in Volvo is not really something that you would normally put into a sentence, but, you know, each to their own.
We'll talk about tricked out cars there, Stu. Nissan Exia down in the Rocket Lane burnout.
Haven't seen this car for a while, Mark. If you like torque steer,
yep,
keep your eyes on the Rocket Lane. It's a very unassuming vehicle. If this is the car I'm thinking, I haven't seen too many yellow Nissan X's, but of course front wheel drive, turbo. They were a pocket rocket for their time.
They were,
and I have a feeling this one's been tinkered with ever so slightly, like a lot.
Yeah, I drove a few of them. Like we used to do one of the smash pairs I worked at. We used to do a lot of work for Nissan up the mountains.
Yes,
and we had to do different bits and pieces to them, and I drove a few of them, and they all had really bad torque steer back then.
Yes.
So I can imagine putting a bit of horsepower into it.
Well, there, he's just spun the wheels to the 330 mark.
Wow, still moving around.
Oh, damn, I didn't realise we didn't get a time left too early, Mark.
How annoying. Well, the guy beside him went 13.2 at 109.
Yep, just
So-
as a guide, and,
Yep.
and the Nissan was in front.
So I reckon that would have been a low 12.
Yes. I do remember it's been has been a long time since we've seen it here at Sydney Dragway. .13.0 with a 7.1, 12 mile an hour for the Aeroflow lane, and the Golf in the Rocket lane, 12.25 with a 7.1, 10 mile an hour. It was very fuely, Ben.
So just had a chat with the driver of the Supra. And he's just saying it did feel like it was slipping off the line just a little bit. So just trying a few different methods of whether to get a lot of heat into the tyre or just see how it goes without the burnout, or a very short, sharp one, just take the water out of it.
Well, seemed like it got out of the hole fairly well then, Stu.
It's moving at the top end of the racetrack, 11.35 with a 0, 127 mile an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, nice pass. To a 13.86 with a 4 at 109.
Well, boys, we've got the mighty Mazda down here, the Mazda RX-8, another first-timer out here tonight, about to take on the Audi S3.
I reckon you should buy yourself one of those RX-8s, Stu. You're such a big Mazda fan. You get... Oh, shots fired, Ben. I was being genuine.
I reckon it'd look better.
Well,
in
if I buy one of these, well, to be honest, they're becoming a bit of a, well, I wouldn't say collector's car, but because I've got the Mazda RX-8 Cup, you know, it's not as easy to find one around that's in super good condition. And if they are, they've normally been snapped up. But hey, he's out here having a bit of time. 1686 out of that car too.
Mark reckons an RX-3, but I'm being realistic. I feel that that's out of...
Oh, an RX-3?
You might be out of your budget level.
That's what banks are for. RX-3, 20B.
20B. Why not? Just go and see Rocky. He'll sort you out. You'll need 2 banks, but you'll get a very nice car out of it.
You'll be driving around with a smile on your face.
Correct. 11.72 with the 0, 120 mile an hour for the car in the rocket lane. I think was the little Gemini wagon. Was it?
I don't know.
Just the guys that are out the back as well. If you are racing tonight, Mark's already mentioned it, but I'll mention again, guys. Just if you're out in the staging lanes, guys, please keep your air conditioning off if possible. Now, I was just having a chat with Halil Mustafa out the back. We were just talking about his Commodore, Mark and Steve, and he's saying he's PB'd in the car tonight. And the guys, you know, look, they're hopeful that they can get the car down into the 9.2s. I think the track's there. I think it's just a matter of all the stars aligning and off she goes.
Yeah, well, Stu, the track is definitely there. I've seen Joe put down a couple of good passes, so it's holding the skyline, so it will definitely hold the Commodore. Well, nice sideways burnout from the Commodore.
We've got this VL Calais with the engine work done by Easy 10's Performance. Back again this week.
Well, 12 to 112 miles an hour for the Commodore in the rocket lane, and 16.4, 84 miles an hour in the Aeroflow lane.
All right, we're going to start to go a little bit gangster now. We've got the Chrysler 300C about to come out. Looks like a full-blown mafia car. is out here having a lot of fun. Not a lot of these around anymore, are there, Steve? We used to get a few of them come out here to the drag strip, but very few and far between these days.
Yeah, I think they're becoming a little bit of a scarcity. Seeing the police don't use them anymore, and you don't see Chrysler producing them. Okay, just having a little bit of a mop up in the Aeroflow lane and just checking the lane itself.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, mate.
Mate, I've got some more good news for you.
Yes.
We've got a black Camaro that is sitting just outside the rocket tunnel, just at the back of the tower. And it's got a big set of radials on the rear end of it.
You're saying all the right words there, Stu.
Because that we don't. I love the modern day Camaros. That body shape is sensational. And look, Troy, who's up at the gas-fired pizza shop, Troy, when you get your car back, mate, you've got to bring it out. We want to see you back here at Aeroflow Race for Real, mate. I know you're busy working. But I tell you what, mate, it'd be good to see Yellow Peril out here again. Don't forget, guys, if you're hungry, we've got gas-fired pizzas up the top. We've also got the Top Fuel Cafe downstairs as well. And if you want nice coffee and hot donuts, don't forget Denise's shop is up there as well, and Joe's Ice Cream for dessert.
Well, the Chrysler runs through 13.4, 111 miles an hour. And 20.8 at 55 for the Aeroflow lane. Well, nice big strong burnout from the panel van. Well, the panel van launched out left-hand side of the car, nose high in the air, but then buttoned off not far after the 60. And just rolls through 19.1 at 54 miles an hour and 12.3, 111 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane. So not sure if there was a bit of a
Now, I'm going to
problem.
go out on a bit of a limb here, boys, and I've got to say that of all the VLs that I've seen here at Aeroflow Race for Real, particularly in the last 5 years, this one here is definitely, without a doubt, the cleanest stock-looking VL Calais I've ever seen. This thing is gorgeous.
Well, it's good to see first-timer as well, Stu.
Not quite sure, Steve, to be brutally honest. 364 GMH, but you know, you're standing down here, and particularly right next to the car. The owner obviously has kept this thing looking completely stock, but a nice sleeper is always good.
It's not stock.
I think it's stock up until you get to the engine bay. It's definitely got a nice crisp motor up under there.
Two zero to the 60. 2000 to the 60. 94 mile an hour at half track and 1184 with a 7 at 120 through the finish line.
Yep, that's tough.
All right, boys. Chev versus Chev.
Well, they just got a little bit of age difference between the two, Stu.
Well, the 57 Chevrolet, well, he's got him on the burnout. We'll see what the Camaro can do to the important part. Certainly got the rubber on the rear end of it to really make some quick 60-foot times, although the Chev has got the jump on him. A lot of dust coming out of that Camaro though, boys. The 1057 at 141.
Well, that definitely come on really strong top end, but the 57 held out another 11.2. So very consistent. So we got the VS Commodore down the Aeroflow lane, and the XE, I think it is, Falcon, in the rocket lane. Well, Falcon gets there 11.8, 110 miles an hour to a 12.9. 108 miles an hour. Well, the VL Calais down in the Aeroflow lane up against the Alex Tirana. Tirana, huge burnout.
That Tirana's tyres, Mark, rubbing on the guards.
Okay.
There's a fair bit of hot rubber down here that's come out of the wheel well.
Well, Tirana goes out a 1.28 60 foot. Nice and strong, top end of the track, 8.5, 160 miles an hour to an 11.8, 117 miles an hour. Great pass from that car.
All right, the Challenger down here, about to take on the Stutchbury Commodore.
Well, courtesy of the CUDA, we can't see a thing.
I can see the brake lights of Brett Stutchbury in the rocket lane. That's about it.
Well, we can just see the CUDA's lights now.
bit of a technical question once these cars run. 050 on the tree for Stutchbury. 158 to the 60. I think there was some wheel spin for the Barracuda in the Aeroflow lane. And Stutchbury through with a 972.
Wow.
145 mile an hour.
And 11.4, 92 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane. So that was a bit of a back down on that one as well.
Yeah, I think so. But good pass for Stutchbury in the rocket lane there. This should be a good hit out, Mark.
This will be a good pass. Let's hope the boys from Black Track can get it all to the ground and get this thing down the quarter. All the way from Gorican up the Central Coast.
Tell you what, Steve, that Black Track performance, Falcon sounds angry. Much better launch too.
Well, it's on a good pass. Wow.
Yeah, wow. On both sides, 932 with the 4, 149 mile an hour for the Commodore.
And 8.8.
Yeah. And I think it sounded like he just tagged the rev limiter at the top of first gear there as well.
I think from memory, 8.8 at 150 miles an hour. Nissan against Datsun. LS against LS. But Joe is out of there. 1 free 460 foot. 887, 152 miles an hour to a 12-1, 110 miles an hour.
There's 8-second passes going around everywhere.
Oh, unbelievable.
I reckon the air would be pretty dense down there. It's got a lot of smoke in it at the moment, though. It's just quiet.
Indeed.
Yes, I had a little bit of a technical question.
Yes.
You said that green Tirana is an LX. How do you tell the difference between an LX and an
Headlights.
LH? Oh, okay.
LH has the square headlights.
Yep.
LX have the round headlights.
Okay, well, that's pretty easy. Yep.
And you can have a look at the gauges inside as well. The LH has white writing on all the gauges.
Yes.
And the LX has yellow.
Okay, but the headlights is the
headlights the giveaway.
The giveaway. LX is the round. Headlights.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. I learned something today. Thank you.
So if you have an LH Tirana, the first thing you do is throw the headlights away. Put the round ones in.
It's like what you do with the Mark 1 Escort.
Yep.
Although the tree cams had the square headlights, I think personally they look so much better with the round ones.
Yep.
There, I said it. But of course, that's not a 2-minute fix to do that.
Luckily, the Tirana's a real easy one. Charlie's getting a bit excited down on the line. Popping little wheel stands. 11.4, 116 miles an hour to a 12.7, 104 miles an hour. Lots of flames out the exhaust of the bike in the rocket lane. 10.2, 141 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane and 11.1 for the rocket lane.
Well, it's great to see a lot of our regulars that are tuning in via YouTube that tune in pretty much every week. And RC, no, I am not going to say that, and I don't think Steve will say it or Mark, but what Scott said. But nevertheless, boys, no, we won't be saying that on live commentary, but I hope everybody's well. Because I did mention earlier, we do have some burnouts this evening as well. That'll be hitting our infamous Burnout Masters burnout pad. But tell you what a roll up of cars and bikes tonight, guys.
Yeah, we had a pretty strong showing tonight, considering the weather. But we had 13 or 14 burnout cars on Sunday. Yeah, it was a pretty good showing.
Huge.
Yeah. Had a good crowd in the house too on the Sunday street meet. A little Civic out again, taking on the Hyundai.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with the Hyundai. I've been keeping an eye on his times all night, just between you and I. I was just comparing his times to my times.
Right.
When I drive the Rocket. And,
what does the Rocket
it's
run?
Interesting. It's done an 18.5. I think that's my best.
You need to
Or
give Mark the keys and he'll run a 16.
Yeah, well, Mark probably would. Yeah. Mind you, though, it's manual, and that's manual as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, but the way Mark will drive it won't be manual. It'll be almost continuous.
Thanks.
There might be a money shift involved, but it's not his car, so it won't matter.
It's like a hire car in it. They always go faster.
Remind me not to throw the keys to you. Oh, I got the Nissan Navara up against the Nissan Patrol.
If I drive it, I'll save on clutch wear because I'll go second to fifth, all right?
No, I'll take your word for it, Steve.
Turn your 5-speed into a 3. Well, the Patrol is getting better at the lights. And an 1865 with a 7 for the utility. And an 1891 there in the rocket lane for the Patrol.
We've got the Pulsar up against the Yaris, looks like.
Another close race, though. 1734 with a 9. 79 mile an hour for the Yaris in the rocket lane.
And 17.8 at 77 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane.
Yeah, but nice light there for the Pulsar. 051.
Yes. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
So VW against VW.
I think that's a Hyundai, Mark.
Hyundai, is it?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, white one nosed right off.
I think it didn't shift gears.
Picked back up.
And if it's a DSG, that's not good, but gets motoring again at the top end. 111 mile an hour, but the run at nearly done there. Went 1.7 to the 60. And the Hyundai got there first. 13.78, 105 mile an hour through the finish line.
And 14.4 at 111 miles an hour for our rocket lane.
All right, guys, it's time to get your French berets out because we've got the Renault out in the rocket lane. Taking on a little bit of KTM, the Hyundai i30N. Good to see a few Hyundais out here tonight and the Volkswagens. They've been a little bit quiet lately. Good to see them back out enjoying Aeroflow Race for Real. Great to welcome a lot of first-timers here tonight as well, which is encouraging to see.
Yeah, always welcome. If you're sitting in the stands or watching on the live stream and want to give this drag racing a crack, you don't need to have the world's fastest car. Nope. You just need a helmet, covered shoes, long pants and long sleeve top. And bring your car on down. We'll sign the necessary paperwork. And pretty much you're able to run down the quarter mile here at Sydney Dragway.
So you can come on out in anything from your Ferrari to your Goggle-mobile.
Correct.
Now that would be pretty cool.
That would be different.
A Shannon's Insurance.
The dart. Oh, could get the dart.
But it wasn't the dart. It's not the dart.
No, it's not.
Speaking about a dart, we've got a black dart out on track now. David Matasevic goes A to B. Nothing fancy, but I'll tell you what, he's into the 10s. The dart. Oh, wow.
Oh, we did too. That yellow one. It's a very nice looking car, that one. I think it ran into the 10s, low 10s, wasn't it?
Wow.
And a 1060 there for Matasevic in the Cortina. 127 miles an hour.
And 12.3 for the Rocket Lane.
All right, the rotary. The little Mazda RX-8, 0.680 reaction time. He's not too fussed on his reaction times. What he cares about is what's happening at the end of the quarter mile on the 13.49 out of that car, 108 miles an hour.
Just thought of another car for you, Stu.
What's that, mate?
I know how much you like utes. And I know how much you like little cars. I reckon we should find him a Suzuki Mighty Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see myself in a mile. That'd be a great summer cruising car, that
Oh,
one.
you know what?
The problem is you pay commercial retro on it. That's the only downside.
You could go on Mighty Boy with a Hayabusa motor.
Oh.
That'd be
cool.
cool.
Turboed Hayabusa.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, that'd work.
Just swap the K-frame out. You'll be
Yep.
right.
Straight in. Point and shoot.
Just
and hang
sequential
on.
box, the whole dice, mate.
I'll tell you what, boys, I was down on track earlier when the driver for this Nissan Exa was out, and look, he keeps his foot into it off the start line, and it's just popping and crackling and carrying on until it hooks up. I think he just needs to learn to just modulate on the accelerator just so very slightly to get that car a little bit quicker out of the hole.
He's doing 100 mile an hour at half track. And probably half of that 200 metres it was spinning the wheels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I got this very clean looking Volvo down here, boys.
It is a very clean Volvo.
Yeah. Well, when you run white wheels, I mean, you got to be more crazier than me when it comes to keeping your car clean. And oh, you got to be very fussy. Yeah, I was going to say something else, but it's a PG-rated show. What was that, Gus, man? Me and a mini moke.
A friend at work wants a moke. They are super expensive.
They're a rarity too.
Yeah,
A good one.
Depending on whether it's a 2-seater or a 3 or a 4. For a 4-seater moke, you'd want a budget of around 50.
Yeah, and they come standard with rust.
Yes.
They come from the factory that
was,
way.
It was inclusion.
Yeah.
But then I guess driving along the beaches in salt water probably.
Wow. Yeah.
You know. It probably didn't help the rust situation. I'm going to find him a Mighty Boy.
I'll tell you what, the big Kiwi, 383 on board, 098 in the tree and 1122. Great pass from him. We got this beautiful looking Tirana come out. I saw this car coming up the return road. I noticed that Will was having a little bit of a word to him, so I don't know whether there was a slight issue with the car, but it's got some pretty serious rubber on the rear end of it.
Stu, why are our viewers so nasty to you?
They're not nasty.
I just don't get it.
No,
they're suggesting
okay.
that the Mighty Boy should be pink and topless.
Sorry, I don't drive through Newtown. The Volkswagen about to take on the Tirana.
Well, this Tirana, Stu, did have a few problems on the previous pass.
He's still spinning those tyres a little bit, isn't he, Mark? Just past 60 foot.
Yeah, a lot cleaner pass this time. 13.1, 112 miles an hour. And 11.2 at 122 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane.
Now, I don't know about you boys this evening, but I've been pretty impressed with this Garage 88 little K Corolla down here with the SR20 in it. This thing has been running some pretty good numbers all night. Looks like a bit of a fun car to have a steer of, actually, boys. It's got a little bit of aggro about it, which is always good. Now, the driver down here in the Supra, Steve, he's still getting used to the way this car's launches with these Falcon tyres on the rear end of it. They are more suited towards drag racing. So whether I asked him whether the computer is kicking in a little bit on that for the burnout, because I think he may need to get a little bit more heat into that rear tyre.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think pretty consistent though. Another 12.3. I think he went 12.300 on his previous pass. But look at that little Corolla go.
130 miles an hour.
130 mile an hour with an 11.1. Like, that tells us that he should be, he's either making a bunch of horsepower and not putting it down to the racetrack, or
I think he was just fighting with that thing off the line.
Just fighting with it off the start line.
Yes, indeed.
Another quick little car here tonight is this little Gemini wagon. And runs on through for an 11.83 with a 2 at 115 mile an hour.
And 13.8 at 104 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane.
I feel my little Escort's a bit slow now, Mark.
Yep.
By about 2 seconds.
Now, boys, that Challenger that was out a little bit earlier, the purple one, guys, it actually had a... Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but it had 604 Hemi on the bonnet. So I dare say it's had a fair bit of work done to it. It's be good to see that car come back out, because I reckon there's more in it.
I'll tell you what, we've got some passengers going for a ride in the VL. 3 of them. 3 separate times.
It's a car full.
Should have bought a bus.
Well, it's not the first time we've had vans go down the track, of course.
No, not at all.
Bit opposite lock going there for the Commodore in the Aeroflow lane. Yeah, so I wonder what happened to my mate's brother's van. He has a high ace with a turbo LS in it. Makes a casual 600 at the tyres.
Well, Commodore goes out 171 in the 60. And 11.9, 113 miles an hour. It'd be interesting to see if he's got passengers on board at the moment.
I think he had one on at one stage. I know the last pass he definitely had somebody in there. Got this very nice VN coming out, Mark.
Still got the 6-banger in it.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see one of those come out, Mark, here in Sydney with a turbo on it. I reckon that'd be a little bit of fun.
Wasn't there one?
There's one in Queensland,
week?
I think.
No, I think there was one here last
Oh,
week,
was
wasn't there?
Might have been.
There was a very clean VN running on the weekend. This one is certainly not stock. 1.6 to the 60. Manually shifted as well. The later model Falcon just pulling away at the top end. 12.89
Wow.
with a 5.109 mile an hour to a 12.99 at 105.
That's quick.
That's a good drag race. I just had a message come through. Bryce, who runs Twin Lakes Automotive, he's up the Central Coast, watching the live stream on YouTube, relaxing. Obviously, I can't say what else he said in the message, but look, you should be here tonight, Bryce. You should be skidding. You shouldn't be at home. You should bring Caden's car down, put it on the burnout pad, put on a bit of a smoke show for the fans that are here tonight, that are braving the weather and doing a great job too. It wouldn't be a race for real, not only without the cars, but also without our spectators as well.
Well, 13 free to a 12 free. Another VL Calais and up against the panel van.
Yes, the big old V8 even struggling to build boost.
Yep.
The T80 88mm turbo on it.
6 litres of LS with a turbo off the side.
Boost loading and go. 1.7 to the 60 and out of the throttle.
Yeah, it's got a massive turbo on that car, boys. Like a pretty substantial size one, but he is only running street rubber on the rear end of it. So I think that's hampering him a little bit off the start line.
Seems to have a bit of problem on the line as well, getting it up to boost. Just might have to throw a bit of nitrous on it.
Do you know what the sad thing is that's still nearly quicker than the Cortina, and he was only on the throttle for like 30 feet. If that.
I got this VS down here in the Aeroflow lane taking on the Chevy Camaro.
Camaro having a few problems getting it off the line. And just a quick dab of the brakes. 11 free at 98 miles an hour to a 12.6, 105 miles an hour.
1.6 to the 60, so.
Yep. Not too bad seeing us turning tyres.
It sounded like the Commodore in the HSV, I should say. VS was spinning the wheels pretty bad too.
Yep.
I think that's the 57 Chev down there at the moment.
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere, I can see, yep. Taking on the VL in the rocket lane. 169 to a 167 in the 60. VL with a slightly better reaction time. 11.32 with a 0, 1.19 for the big old 57 to take the win by a tenth. To an 11.48 with a 7 at 1.18 for the Commodore in the rocket lane.
We've got the Falcon down in the rocket lane, a little 6-cylinder. Well, 9.8, 139 for the Aeroflow lane to an 11.8, 110 miles an hour.
Yeah, wow, very strong pass for the Aeroflow lane there. VF Commodore back out again.
What
Yeah.
Stu was saying, these guys have done a PB tonight.
Yep. Yeah, they've been playing around with the shift points in the car as well, Mark.
Yep.
Of course, if you do have an LS, the House of LS at Yonora, definitely give them a call for all your LS needs. Mustafa out with a 1.37 in the 60 and goes a 9.28 with a 3 at 149 miles an hour.
Wow, that is hooking up.
Yeah.
Especially if going off the brake at 1500 revs.
It seems to just do it so effortlessly.
Yes, it does indeed. I'll tell you what, Steve, how about we go up to the big screen and get a few words from our sponsors, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Here, Aeroflow, race for real.
Are you a motoring enthusiast? Shannons are giving you the chance to win a USA Supercars drive experience at the Circuit of the Americas and Las Vegas racetracks. Drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini and Porsche. Visit Dallas, Austin, Las Vegas and LA. The trip for two includes airfares, luxury accommodation and $10,000 spending money for eligible Shannons Club members. Plus, win a new Indian Motorcycle Sport Chief. To enter, take out new Shannons insurance on your special car, daily drive, bike or home. Go online or call Shannons on 134646.
Not slow.
Not difficult.
Not just ticking boxes.
Not a bank.
Talk to Australia's real-life non-bank for home loans, car loans, personal loans. Pepper Money, the home of loan options.
Aeroflow Performance provides a wide range of high-quality performance products for racers, street machines and hot rodders. Aeroflow Performance provides a wide range of high-quality performance products for racers, street machines and hot rodders. From fittings, fuel system components, intake solutions, and turbocharger systems. You can see it all at aeroflowperformance.com.
I've chosen to use VP Racing Fuel since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now. I just have a really personal trust with VP Racing Fuels.
Running on the ragged edge of blowing up and not, a lot of it has to do with the race fuel, and that's what we rely on, VP Racing Fuels.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent, it's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and keep out there having fun.
Are you a motoring enthusiast? Shannons are giving you the chance to win a USA Supercars drive experience at the Circuit of the Americas and Las Vegas racetracks. Drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini and Porsche. Visit Dallas, Austin, Las Vegas and LA. The trip for two includes airfares, luxury accommodation and $10,000 spending money for eligible Shannons Club members. Plus, win a new Indian Motorcycle Sport Chief. To enter, take out new Shannons insurance on your special car, daily drive, bike or home. Go online or call Shannons on 134646.
BikeReview.com.au is Australia's leading website for performance and modified motorcycles. BikeReview.com.au is the only motorcycle-focused website to feature motorcycle drag racing on a regular basis. And in the words of editor Jeff Ware, our involvement with Sydney Dragway is our way of putting back into one of our favourite sports. BikeReview.com.au. Stay informed, up to date and entertained thanks to Para News. Para News is Parramatta and the Cumberland area's leading free and local newspaper, delivering the best content from on-the-ground journalists and providing businesses with direct access to potential customers. News, sport, entertainment, puzzles and so much more. Para News really is the heartbeat of Parramatta and Cumberland, and it's out every Tuesday. Get your free copy at selected locations in the area or check out paranews.com.au.
Bank said no to your home loan? Talk to us.
Not a bank.
Talk to Australia's real-life non-bank for home loans, car loans, personal loans. Pepper Money, the home of loan options.
Whether you're building a street machine or a race car, Aeroflow Performance has a solution for you. Our ever-increasing range features boosted turbocharger systems, Bosch motorsport products, Expo electrical systems, hoses and fittings, bank shift shifters, differential parts, and fabrication components. You can see it all on aeroflowperformance.com.
Drag racing is not just about the horsepower. There is also some cool science at play right here on the racetrack. These drag strips aren't just regular concrete. We treat it with a special kind of glue often referred to as traction compound. I usually twist my foot and it's up. It's getting worse by the minute for us racers to go straight and fast. In drag racing, every millisecond counts. That's why the teams adjust the car's setup to suit the track conditions. Teams can assess the traction on the track by using this interesting device called a traction meter gauge. The bottom of the device has a rubber pad that mimics a racing slick. To measure the track's grip value, the user stands on the base, ensuring the rubber pad bonds with the racing surface. Turning the torque arm on the top of the device will rotate the rubber pad. When the bond breaks, the user will see a number on the dial. Teams can then use this number to help create baselines for grip within their respective setup.
Welcome back to Aeroflow Race for Real here at Sydney Dragway. It's the Pocket Rocket. Just filling in for the boys for 2 secs. Just like to say a bit of a condolences to a very good friend of a friend, Simo, who just recently passed away recently. Very, very good friend to Bryce and Caden, who big part of Twin Lakes Automotive. I do send my condolences out to the family and friends. Now also guys, if you love your burnouts, Thank God It's Friday is making a return here to Sydney Dragway as well. It's on the 28th of June. So put that in your diaries, guys. If you love burnouts, the 28th of June. Now, Mr. Mullet, who is quite a well-known burnout competitor, of course, he's got the Falcon 1-tonner. He's going to be giving away a passenger ride in his burnout monster. So all you need to do is go into the Sydney Dragway page, and you've got to share the Thank God It's Friday post. It's got a picture of Mr. Mullet, of his car, and you could be in the chance to win a passenger ride in Mr. Mullet on the burnout pad, which would be a fantastic experience for anybody that has never been in a burnout car before, or just someone who's like me and loves the smoke and the noise. It's a good way to get into it. So go to the Sydney Dragway page, guys. Make sure you find that post. And for Thank God It's Friday, and share it. And it'll be your chance to win. And the winner of that will be announced on Monday, the 24th of June. So forget liking and sharing, guys. Unfortunately, a little bit of fluid just on the start line. It's been a good night for Aeroflow Race for Real. We've still got a few cars and a lot of bikes out the back. Absolute credit to all these racers that have stuck by us. To everybody that's watching via YouTube, well, glad you guys are very much a part of Aeroflow Race for Real, as are everybody who's made the trek out here tonight up in the grandstand, particularly some of the first timers. If you're your first time here, guys, hope you're enjoying all the action. We look forward to seeing you back. Of course, we do have burnouts on a little bit later, as far as I'm aware. David Martisevic back out now in the Cortina. The 347 cubed Windsor underneath the bonnet of it. And another great consistent 10.5 second pass out of that car. As we've got another one of our Hyundai i30Ns about to take on the Lexus. Now, of course, Lexus just put up a post not long ago that they are looking at bringing out a road-going GT3 car, which is pretty exciting. There won't be a limited run model, as they've had previously. So it's still on the drawing board, but I reckon here in Australia it will be pretty close to being sold. I reckon Lexus know they've got a market here in Australia, and I think they'd be a little bit crazy not to bring that car here to Australia and sell it. Yeah, totally agree, Cliff. Mr. Mullet is great. There are a lot of good people through the burnout scene at the moment, and they love to put a show on. As we've got the Tirana back out now, and taking on the Nissan Patrol. Don't forget, guys, if you want see some great photos of your car, we've got Andrew who's floating around with the camera. We've also got a Mad Car Media, which are in the house as well. And they've got some fantastic shots of your car. Oh, the Tirana getting a little bit taily out towards 60 foot. A 1270 there for Tirana to an 1831. Pedal van man, yes, Ben has just gone out to grab a little bit of food, but I'm actually looking at his computer screen right now, so I am keeping an eye on what's being said in the chat. Yeah, it was a great podcast, DJ Prowse, Mr. Mullet. The interview that he did with Dave Pendlebury and the Kalidi Motorsport crew. Yeah, great bunch of guys, and Dave doing a great job with that as well. Speaking about podcasts, I will be on a podcast at some stage. I got asked by young Josh, who normally comes out and does burnouts. He's got the yellow GTSR lookalike, and he's asked me to be part of his podcast. So, not sure where we're going to do it yet. He only just messaged me the other day about it, but I do look forward to doing, because I've actually never been part of a podcast before ever. So to get interviewed is going to be very exciting. So do look out for that. I'll just find the page right now. So if you look up High Performance Garage Podcast, that is the name of the Facebook page. if you go into that and like it, you'll see some of the interviews that Josh has already done. He's done one with Cameron Doyle, of course, the driver of Wild One, a car well known here in Sydney. He's also done one with Caden, the driver of Bankrupt from Twin Lakes Automotive up at Charmhaven. So the name of the page is High Performance Garage Podcast. So definitely like that page. And yeah, I'll be getting interviewed at some stage, and everybody will then be able to hear my way into the sport. And I can tell you right here and now, guys, that there'll be two names being mentioned in that podcast as well, and they are the two gentlemen that are sitting to my right.
But we didn't do anything, Mark. It wasn't us.
I don't know. You guys have been a big part of me here, commentating here at Sydney Dragway. So definitely huge part of helping me out with my commentary. Obviously, coming from a radio background to commentary is a lot different. But it'll be pretty exciting. But back to the racing, we've got the RX-8 out there and taking on this little wagon. I love this wagon. This thing is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He got a little bit crossed up coming out of the water there. Got my attention when he appeared front of the window. He was definitely pointing at that concrete.
Be interesting to see what running gear is in the Gemini, because usually a lot of them end up being rotaries.
Yeah, well, this one definitely is not a rotary.
No.
It's very quiet. I wouldn't mind betting could be a turbo Isuzu motor.
Yep.
There is a gentleman out of Queensland, Steve Sloan, that runs the old 1800 overhead push rod engine.
7-second one or
something?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
he's run like 780s, 180 something mile an hour. It's like, wow. Yeah, I saw it a few years ago at the Winners thinking it was going to be, some fandangled twin cam 16 valve thing, and no, it's the trusty 8 valve. I think it was at 1800 too. It wasn't the 2 litre.
You would think he'd just have those motors all lined up
He
for
does.
each pass.
He does pretty much. Because we said, how do you go finding parts? He said, He said, I have spares. And he said, it's just a matter of picking the eyes out of what he's got and repairing what he can,
Yeah.
I was actually looking forward to seeing it running at the Winters recently, but I believe you hurt the car on the winter warm-up.
Oh, really?
So I was a
Okay.
bit disappointed about that.
Yeah. Have you seen that car, Stu?
No, I don't believe I have.
It's a metallic blue, like a dark metallic blue ETF Gemini.
Yeah.
It's run 780s at like 180 something mile an hour. Very, very quick car.
Well, I just noticed the driver of the Supra just put on a bigger burnout and a 1204 with an 8, so that's a step in the right direction for him.
Yeah, that's big step. There's 2.5 tenths there.
Yeah.
He went 12.3, I think, on the last run.
So there you go. Those tyres do like a bit of heat in them. So now we can just concentrate on how big of a, or how small the burnout needs to be. And it's all about testing, isn't it?
Yes.
You got these new tyres, you want to see what they will do. You just work on from there.
Yeah,
it's interesting too because, most people that buy more drag-orientated radial, off the top of my head, that's probably one of the first cars I've ever seen with a set of Falcons on it. Normally they're a different brand. So you can kind of lean on other people. But look, he's gone with the Falcons. And once he gets his head around it, I think we will see some better times out of that car. But I put my hand on that tyre, and it does feel like a normal road tyre. It's just got a whole lot of grooves through it. They're not big space grooves like you can get with the more sport-orientated tyre.
So with that, was it a high wall or small wall?
Similar profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So playing tyre pressures with those types of tyres, because they don't have a large wall, would probably be no benefit to that type of tyre. Start dropping pressures or stuff because it won't have the flex within the wall.
Steve's laughing, which has got me worried.
I'm trying to read the comments on the stream, And Ben's gone up to get something to watch, to eat, and of course the chat's gone all crazy because he's not there to watch over them.
Well, I did tell them that I'm right next to the computer, so I am keeping an eye on what's being said. And yes, guys, I do have access to the keyboard. So, not that I need to. You guys are actually behaving themselves. You guys know the rules. Oh, we got a little Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art down here in the rocket lane. And he's about to take on the Foz. Another first-timer out enjoying his car. Now, of course, these Rally Art's the baby brother of the Evo, but, you know, with a little bit of work done to them, you can get some pretty good times out of these cars.
Well, we've seen a number of sleeper Lancers, haven't we? Thinking, oh yeah, they're just a base model, and they come out, rotate the Earth, without all the big wide body kits and lots of that does not sound good on the track mic, Mark. There's lots of banging and crunching going on down there in the rocket lane, and a lot of sparks or flames under the car.
So I wonder if it's a problem with the car, or he's just got one of those pop tunes on it that...
Ooh, I don't know if I normally see flames out the pipes with the pop tune, though. That's a problem.
Well, I can just see on the chat, boys, that Lachlan Bowers has just joined the chat. Of course, the son of Adam Bowers,
Lachlan,
who drives a High Performance World HQ. I was just keeping your seat warm. It's a... No, I did not. No, I didn't.
I think you did.
But, g'day, Lockie. How are you, mate? Mate, we're going to get you out racing here on a Wednesday night. Should bring the Commodore out for a bit of a spin.
Watch out, chat room. Daddy Ben's back, and he's got the strap ready to go.
The law's in the house.
So this 300 mark, you know, I've seen this thing come out. It still looks like it's a very stock car. It doesn't look like it's had anything majorly done to it. However, I would have expected slightly quicker times out of that car. I know it is heavy, but it's very gingerly off the line. I mean, the 13.2 is still very respectable, but I think there's a 13.1 in that car.
I don't know what they run standard. Our resident 300 driver doesn't officiate here anymore. No. Moved up to sunny Queensland.
Yeah, okay.
Right, pair of GM products on the start line.
Yep, one Calais, one HSV.
I think the HSV had a little bit of troubles getting traction on the last pass. Nice burnout from the Calais.
Well, both cars got out pretty evenly. 1.9 for the Calais and 1.8 for the HSV.
HSV just in front of the 1,000, and it stays that way. 12.47 with a 7. 110 mile an hour through the finish line in the rocket lane.
Yeah, and a 12.5 at 119 miles an hour. So an extra 9 miles an hour out of the VL.
Yes.
But the win goes to the HSV.
Well, Brian out now. Brian's been consistent tonight, down in that low 13-second bracket. He has dipped down into the high 12s before in this car. Let's see if Brian can get down into the 13 zeros. Certainly launching well off the line. I've been watching him throughout the night. A 1.76 in the 60.
Yeah, 085 on the tree, Stu, not a bad light.
There we go, a 12.35 with the 4 to an 11.46 out of that Commodore. That's impressive.
Yeah, just lacking a little bit of top end horsepower just to carry it across the line. Well, panel van is back down in the staging lanes.
All right, we've got XPT 250, this beautiful looking blue Falcon, and taking on this V8 powered Sylvia from Blown Outlaws. This is their drift car.
Falcon just coming back for another shot. Got a little bit more heat in that tyre.
Now, if you haven't seen this car before, this does not have a barrier in it. It's still got the old 250 crossflow motor in it.
We've seen a couple of cars run out with the old crossflows in it. There's Cortina that was running around for a while. It come out and it was turning some really good times.
Well, there was a gentleman in South Australia back when I was racing, nearly 27 years ago, whatever it was, and he was running 10.0s back then.
Yes.
And that was just like injection. They injected 250 in a Cortina.
Yep.
I've got to say, guys, the guys from Black Track Performance with their barrel-powered Falcon, they've been really got on top of the combination tonight. They were running some pretty strong numbers.
Yeah, that's the quickest I've seen that car go.
Yeah. It's an amazing car, what they've done with it, you know. Still got a similar height and setup to what XPT 250 does.
Yep.
But, man, they've got that thing down pat. So we've got one of the Harleys make its way out.
Well, 11.8, 119 miles an hour to 11.7, 124 miles an hour.
Harley pretty aggressive off the start line.
Yeah, nice light too, Stu. 093, 092 on the tree for the Rocket Lane. Got ridden around though. 11.18 with an 8. 132 mile an hour in the Aeroflow to take the win. To a 12.31 with a 4 at 107.
I got another one of these tough Harleys out. I just noticed one of the Harleys out here tonight, Steve, has got the little turbo or supercharger hanging off the left-hand side of the bike. It's one of the Dark Side Customs bikes. I'll tell you what, when you're down on deck and those things are doing the burnout, it certainly gives your eardrums a bit of a workout.
You know what else we should get for you?
What's that?
A modified postie bike.
Yeah.
Put that on a trailer and tow with your Mighty Boy. Because it won't fit in the back with the tailgate down.
I got an idea. if we're going to do that, seriously, if we're going to do that, right, we've got to write on it, Gus Man. It's got to have Gus Man written on the side of it. What do you reckon?
You can do whatever you
I
like.
reckon
It's
it
your
should have
car,
Gus
right?
Man written on the side of it. You know, I reckon that'd be cool. Going down the track, Gus Man to be famous. You know.
Gus Man or Gas Man?
No, Gus Man.
Okay.
Gus Man, it's on our live stream. No, not Troy. Troy's already got a Camaro to look after. We're still waiting, Troy.
But
We
if
want
we're-
to see it out.
But if we're putting the high bussa motor in it, we won't see which way he's gone.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be cool. So you reckon I could have like a friendly match race against Brett Copping, couldn't I?
You could, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to kick your midlife crisis off, right?
Well, I haven't hit that just yet.
Well,
It's close, but
we
not
need
yet.
to prepare you for it.
Yeah. That's about 2 years that might happen. But we'll see. We'll see.
You can have a midlife any time.
Panel Van Man said Gus Man is famous. Yes. Yes. You need to realise all of you are also famous too, because, you know, you're here tuning in every event, and we're very grateful for that. But you know what? What's better than watching it on the screen? Being here at the track and sitting up in the grandstand and going for a walk through the pits or the staging lanes and having a look at all the cars and bikes.
Yep, having a chat to the drivers, talking about what they're doing and what their plans are. Because as Stuart regularly demonstrates, all our racers are more than keen to have a chat to him, tell us about the car, and you know, in some cases they go into quite a bit of detail. They're obviously very passionate about what they're doing here, and some of them have a little bit more focus on racing if they're chasing an ET or a power level, more so than just coming out and having a little bit of fun. But you know, I think events like this allow our racers to take out of it what they want to take out of it. You know, if they enjoy it and they want to go quicker, then they can approach some of the tuning shops that we advertise and say that you heard about them from the drag strip, and you know, let them know that that's where you've come across them.
Well, I think the interesting part too is that, you know, with these people that we interview and we speak to, just goes to show a lot of people too. Like, for example, with Halil's car, you know, it's running pump 98.
Yep.
You know, or you can run a car with E85, and which you can buy from the servo, and come out here, race, still run some very quick times. Also, just goes to show that you don't have to go out and spend money and buy, even though we'd like it because it supports our supporters, but you know, you don't have to go out and buy 107 octane race fuel. You don't have to go out and buy methanol. You know, you can bring your car out here, run it on 98, and providing you've got a good engine builder and a good tuner, there's no reason why you can't be running some very quick times down our track.
Well, I mean, a lot of our cars they're very restricted from the factory, but even from the factory, they're fast.
Yeah, they are.
You know? Yeah. They might not be as fast as in all-out drag racing terms, but you still, I think anything over 100 mile an hour, you know, at this level is fast. Like that's 160 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Always we see our is it our Renault down there?
Was that the Renault?
I think it is our Renault.
Did he run out of cooking oil, did he?
Ooh, that's nasty.
Stew.
Uh-huh.
Run out of frog's legs.
That's it, exactly.
He's done exactly the right thing though. Heard a noise and moved over to the wall as soon as it was safe to do so. The beauty of doing that means that if there is something coming out of it, means that we don't have a massive cleanup.
Yep.
Although our start line crew haven't mopped or cleaned anything on the start line, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're not bending over and picking up bits and pieces off the track, which is another good thing.
That's where you need a giant French crepe under there, mate, just to catch all the metal. you know. On that note, I'm going outside.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm safe wherever I go. Because they see the size of me and they go, yeah, no, it's not even worth it. It's great. It is a bit unfortunate, but hey, that is racing now. Guys, we had somebody just jump on the stream and ask, when are the burnouts? Well, the burnouts will probably be happening around 9:30. We'll probably kick them off. But until then, we've still got plenty of drag racing to come. The bikes have lined up. They are ready and raring to go. I'll tell you what, they're a hardy bunch, these group of motorcyclists tonight. It's great to have them here as part of Aeroflow Race for Real. Not only that, we talk about the tuning shops with cars, but you know, the tuning shops with some of these motorcycles as well. So Dark Side Customs, which have always been a big supporter of Aeroflow Race for Real here with their custom Harleys that they run, and a lot of the other shops, and also the different mixer bikes. I mean, first time tonight in a long time I've actually seen an Aprilia on track.
Aprilia's a nice bike.
They are a nice bike.
Yep.
They are. And, you know, normally we get a guy come out in a KTM. Obviously get a lot of Suzukis and a lot of the drag bikes around the world. A lot of them are based on a Suzuki. But it's good to see different makes. We got Ducati that was here tonight. That thing looked pretty trick. Kind of remind me of the old Hondas, Mark. It only had the half a rear swing arm, so only on one side of the wheel. The other one had the big lock nut on the right-hand side.
Yep.
But you can see, guys, that we've got a lot of Hyundais here tonight, and if you've got a Hyundai i30N or even some of the JDM style of cars, don't forget, guys, if you live up around the North Shore, do check out Cherry Tuning, which is based up at Hornsby. It's behind Spotlight on George Street, and you can't miss Spotlight, and then on Hunter Lane, you've got Cherry Tuning. Tristan and the boys, they're doing a fantastic job at that workshop. Not only do they do standard servicing for your KDM and some of the JDM products as well, but they do a lot of performance upgrades as well for the i30Ns. They do everything from just doing an exhaust on the car to going to water methanol injection. And they don't just do drag racing, they do other forms of motorsport as well. They do everything from track to drag, but they do have some very quick street cars that have come out of that workshop, and I'm sure there will be plenty more. So if you've got a KDM, a Hyundai, a Kia, or a Genesis, primarily, go out and see Cherry Tuning up at Hornsby. They are great supporters of Aeroflow Race for Real and grassroots motorsport in general. Well, just while we get this Renault towed off, we're just going to get a few words from some of our sponsors. You're here at Aeroflow Race for Real with Mr. Holden, Mark Thomas, the Bushman, and the Rocket. Will be back very, very soon.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
I've chosen to use VP Racing fuel since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now.
just have a really personal trust with VP Racing Fuels.
Running on the ragged edge of blowing up and not, a lot of it has to do with the race fuel, and that's what we rely on, VP Racing Fuels.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent. It's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
Are you a motoring enthusiast? Shannon's are giving you the chance to win a USA Supercars drive experience at the Circuit of the Americas and Las Vegas racetracks. Drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini and Porsche. Visit Dallas, Austin, Las Vegas and LA. The trip for two includes airfares, luxury accommodation and $10,000 spending money for eligible Shannon's Club members. Plus, win a new Indian Motorcycle Sport Chief. To enter, take out new Shannon's insurance on your special car, daily drive, bike or home. Go online or call Shannon's on 134646.
Aeroflow, famous for our massive range of hose, fittings and performance products. Air filters, oil filters, fittings, engine and transmission parts, fuel systems, tanks, silicone hose, exhaust, air conditioning, turbo and nitrous accessories and more. Get your free catalogue and shop online now at aeroflowperformance.com.
Welcome back to Aeroflow Race for Real here at Sydney Dragway. It's the Pocket Rocket with Mr. Holden, Mark Thomas, and of course the legend of Sydney Dragway commentary, the Bushman, Stephen Bush. And we've got burnouts coming up, I'm guessing probably in about half an hour, guys. So,
yeah,
not sure how many cars we've got though.
Normally we pre-assemble them in the staging lanes there, Stu. I can't see them there at the moment. Another run coming up for the little Gemini wagon. We can see that on the staging lane cam.
Yep, we've got the panel van also lined up and the VL. And all our motorbikes.
Yes. And looks like the Hyundai will take the win here. 12.63 with a 6.110 mile an hour in the Aeroflow lane to take the win. And of course, we are now running on the Pro Tree.
Yeah, we certainly are. We've got Japanese muscle out there now. The Lexus take on the Volvo. And you can tell that an old guy doesn't drive it because this thing is like lowered. It's got white rims on it. It hasn't got a straw hat sitting on the back parcel shelf. And he's out here having a lot of fun. And the Swedish Missile, 2.31 to the 60. And the Lexus on its way through with 13.1 to a 14.46 there.
Yeah, we don't call a lot of Volvos here at Sydney Dragway. However, there is sometimes the earlier models with the engine swaps. They get the 302 or the LS or similar.
Yeah, for a long time there was always the Clevos straight in. They were a nice fit in the engine bays of the Volvos.
Which you think if you'd run an LS in it or something similar, you'd have, or a 302, you'd have swinging room left over.
Yeah.
Considering the Cleveland's a lot bigger than a 302.
This Exia is just moving all over the track.
13.2 with a 3 at 130 mile an hour.
Like,
That's
is that
not right there?
You know, like that should be 10.8.
Yes.
10.5.
10.5, something like
yeah.
that. From memory, they were only little 1800 too, I think.
Yeah, they were.
They weren't. Were they twin cam?
No.
No, they're only.
And the turbo was like this. It was like the size of a baked bean tin.
Yes. Well, that doesn't last long, obviously.
What, baked beans?
No, the turbo that size.
we've got the Golf taking on the Audi. The Golf R's that come out tonight, an 11.18, 122. That's a great pass there from that car to an 11.63. Whereas we've got the Commodore Ute about to take on the Garage 48 KE Corolla.
And this Corolla is no slouch.
It's a beautiful car. It really is. I love that blue.
Yep.
It looks sensational on that car.
Well, my twin brother, had a Corolla, the same model as that one, but a wagon.
Yes, so did I. I had a wagon.
Did you?
Yeah, a little white one.
His was it started out like a minty green colour.
Yep.
Then he saw the fun that Dad and I had building the Cortina, so he's like, "Oh, I want to do a car too." So we ended up doing buying a half cut and putting a C18 turbo motor in.
Oh, yeah,
Did all the gearbox, and it was all pretty standard in that. But yeah, it was a good little car. I often wonder what happened to it. He sold it. Yeah, I think it's been sold a couple of times since, but I haven't seen it anywhere or whatever. But a 1077 with a 130 mile an hour out of the Corolla on that pass. Yeah, wow. So that gives you an idea where that Nissan Nexus should be.
Yes. Yep.
What'd you say, 10.8?
10.8, 10.5. All the bikes are now in the tunnel.
Yeah, I don't think we're too far away from going to burnouts, Mark.
No.
All right, guys, we might be going to burnouts a little bit quicker than 9:30. We'll just play it by ear for the moment, but if you're a racer and you're out the back and you want to get another few runs in, make your way around to the staging lanes.
Just a quick little bit of mop up in the Aeroflow lane.
So, guys, one of our regulars that's on the stream, his name is Scott. It was his birthday. He's 47 yesterday. So, happy birthday, Scott. I hope you had a good one.
Happy birthday for yesterday.
If you've been enjoying driving your little Escort around, and he said on Sunday that he loves the induction sound of the twin Webbers.
Oh, okay, yep.
So, yeah, did do a little bit of damage recently, I think. Ben commented something about it being done at 7,000 RPM or more or something.
Around the detonation zone.
Yes. So just a local clean up there on the start line.
Yeah, it's on you a little clean up, but I'll tell you what, I've been pretty impressed with this Easy 10's performance assisted Commodore down here, Mark. It's been consistent the last few weeks. They brought the car out.
Yep.
It's great to see him bringing a couple of some passengers in as well, give them a bit of a feel for what the drag racing caper is all about. Now, just as I say that, on our screen up here in the studio, I can see the burnout cars starting to line up in the staging lanes. So once again, if you are out the back in the pits and you want to do a couple more laps of drag racing, bring your car around, guys. But we might be bringing the burnouts forward. So if you do want to drag race, guys, bring your cars around. As that VN gets out.
I'm really impressed with this VN.
It's manually shifted as well, just smashing through the gears.
Like 13.0, 105.
Yep, got there by over a second.
Yeah.
But there's big reaction time difference there. We can see there in the burnout with the pedal van, the air circulation at the back of the van. I remember that there was, used to get told by people a little bit older than myself that there was always sometimes an issue with driving in the panel van, being a passenger in the back as you used to be able to do.
Yes.
with the rear window open, you'd often get a little bit nauseous from the fumes.
Exhaust fumes, yeah.
Just seeing there in the burnout how the smoke sort of circulated up behind the back of the car.
And that's why so many panel vans used to have the pipes coming out the side.
Yes. Yes.
Because you had to drive around with your back window up.
No information on the VN, but it's definitely manual and it's 6-cylinder.
Yeah, it's 6-cylinder. Yeah, you can hear
Sounds
the-
like it's NA because there's no.
Yeah.
We can't hear any sort of.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a big miles an hour or anything like that to it dictate it being a turbo. So it'd be the VN, the 3.8.
So I think one thing that surprised me tonight, boys, is that Joe Sabello came out back out in the Skyline and managed to get that car sub 9 seconds. Considering he hasn't driven that car for a little while, just goes to show you just how well that car is sorted, how well he knows the car. But then on the flip side of that, it's interesting because when you look at these other two vehicles, there's a bit of a struggle with them, even though fundamentally they're very similar setup in both cars.
Harley Roddy getting a little bit crossed up at the finish of the burnout there.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, I think Joe has put a lot of development into the Skyline for it. Like, just knows the car back to front. Commodore didn't do a lot of driving in the Commodore either. I think the Commodore was built for his son originally. I could be wrong there, but yeah. The Commodore, I didn't think he built the Commodore for that. I thought he built it for his son, but the the 180 or Sylvia was built for the 7s. Yeah. Again, I could be wrong. You know, like.
Well, they did build a Commodore for his son. It was a blue-coloured turbo Commodore that they had, that his son was driving.
Yep.
And then I believe they sold it. And we haven't seen the car since.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, the white car had a lot of potential.
Well, 995 at 144 miles an hour to an 11.0 for the Aeroflow lane.
It was a strong pass out of the rocket lane there. .1261 with a 3, 105 mile an hour for the rocket lane to take the win there.
And 14.1, 92 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane. And back round into the cars again.
Pair of hatchbacks on the start line. We've got the Golf over in the Aeroflow lane taking on the Honda in the rocket lane.
Well, guys, just out in the staging lanes, and we've got the burnout cars all lined up. We've got Honda Sly, which is here tonight. The Green Commodore is back. We've got Diablo, the Falcon Wagon. Good to see those guys back out here tonight as well. Got another AU Falcon. Boogie is here tonight as well. What's going on, mate?
Not much, yourself?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to getting out there.
Yeah, as always.
That's the way. Oh, yeah. The guy's just testing out the rear suspension by look at it, see how much bounces in it. And we'll wait in the rear end, mate.
A little bit.
It's good to see you back. And of course, VX Frying from Club Bang Nation is here tonight as well. So plenty of good burnout cars. That should be good. So a total of 7 burnout cars tonight, guys. So if you're down in the pits, maybe start making your way to the grandstand, guys, because we've got 7 burnout cars that are keen to put a show on for everybody. And I've just been told by one of the drivers who drives Boogie, we'll be seeing a bit of a change for that car in the future. So can't wait to see what they've got up their sleeve. I have been told, but I don't want to give away too many secrets.
Oh, it's a shame, Mark. Looks like the little Gemini wagon being ushered away from the start line. Maybe a little bit of something leaking on the racetrack there.
Well, 16,189 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane. Yeah, just doing a quick bit of a mop up down there. So yeah, I'd say could have been a bit of oil or something there, Steve. So you got the thinners out on it. Everybody on board and cleaning up. So even got Stu down there giving a quick mop.
Yeah, just the catch cam was overflowing, boys, so it's just a little bit of gunk coming out of it.
A lot of these things with modified motors, they do breathe a bit heavy.
Yes. Yep, done plenty of passes here tonight, so dare say that a little bit more oil is in that catch can than what normally would be in there.
Whoa. That brought it to life, didn't it, when it come on boost?
It did, but still haven't seen similar to what that first pass was. 12.37 with a 1 there in the Aeroflow lane to take the win, though. seeing double.
Yeah, this should be a good pass.
Aeroflow lane had the better reaction time, and that's how it stayed. Out in front, 12 flat to at 113 mile an hour to an 11.90. You're not wrong, Mark. Was a pretty good race.
Got the little Nissan Exia put in. It looks like the last pass of the night. Twelve 7, 132 miles an hour.
It's a little bit more ginger off the start line there, getting the power to the ground rather than going up in wheel spin.
Yep, indeed. And we've got the last of our bikes coming through by the looks of it. Zero to a 12.5.
Virtually nothing in this one reaction time wise, but the Aeroflow lane will get there first. 11.01, 133 mile an hour.
And 11.5, 125 miles an hour. I think that might be the end of our drag racing.
Yes, looks like it, Mark. And we'll just turn those burnout cars around and bring our safety people up to the burnout pad. And of course, we'll get to see, I think Stu said 7 burnout cars are being ushered down there.
Yep.
So looking forward to seeing what they can do on the burnout pad.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at that time of the night where we finish it off with a whole heap of smoke and it's good to see On the Sly here tonight. So don't forget, guys, TGI Friday is coming up on the 28th. And as I mentioned earlier, make sure you like that post on the Sydney Dragway Facebook page and share it. It's got a picture of Mr. Mullet on there, and you can win a passenger ride in that car at TGI Friday, which is coming up. So our fire crew is just about into position. We've got the ambos up, so we won't be too far away from sending out On the Sly. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for On the Sly. Very good, solid skid there. All right, got the AU Falcon coming out now. There we go, 360. Oh, the kettle has balls. Sydney Dragway, put your hands together. That was some really good driving there from that driver in the Falcon. All right, the VN Commodore. Nice entry onto the pad. Sydney, put your hands together for the driver of the VN. All right, next up on the pad, haven't seen him for a little while. We've got Diablo coming out next. Sydney Dragway makes some noise to Diablo. Really good quality skid. I've been pretty impressed so far with the burnouts this evening. Getting the tyres off in under 3 minutes. Well, just recently, guys, a lot of the Ford burnout cars have been doing really well lately. Not saying the Holdens are doing a bad job, mind you, but you got to hand it to the Fords. So it's a confused car, is it? So unfortunately, guys, he's lost the steering in the car. Well, I'm sure they'll get that fixed and we'll see that car back out. I'm looking forward to this next skid that is coming up. Of course, Boogie, who did a great job at Good Friday Burnouts. And I look forward to seeing this car come out again in the future. Maybe, just maybe, with a different, slightly different combination in it. But, All right, guys, so just while we get Diablo attended to, we'll get a few words from some of our sponsors. We'll be back very, very soon for more burnouts here at Aeroflow Race for Real.
Bang shift shifters from Aeroflow Performance are truly the modern shifter for the modern age. Featuring a full bespoke billet case, all shifters are designed for right-hand drive vehicles with an LED lit gear position indicator. Available in either ratchet or gated options, as well as OEM replacement shifters for popular Holden and Ford vehicles. A large range of bang shift spares are available for each shifter that includes shifter cables, brackets, lever and gate kits, trans brake buttons and drop boxes for the ideal mounting solution. Shift into gear and check out a full listing at aeroflowperformance.com.
How would it be if we funded a pilot program for you to run that enabled you to bring some vision impaired kids onto the Saints Play program?
Oh wow, that would mean the world. My reward is the smile on the kids' faces.
And since you've given so much to others, we'd also like to do something for you personally. How would it feel if Pepper sent you, your partner, and your daughter Molly to the Gold Coast for a few days?
Yeah, awesome. I don't know what to say. It amazes me. Thank you very much.
Stay informed, up to date and entertained thanks to the Western Weekender. The Western Weekender is Penrith's leading free and local newspaper, delivering the best content from on-the-ground journalists and providing businesses with direct access to potential customers. News, sport, entertainment, puzzles and so much more. The Western Weekender is the heartbeat of Penrith and it's out every Thursday. Get your free copy at selected locations in the area, home delivered, or check out westernweekender.com.au.
Boosted turbochargers from Aeroflow Performance are designed for the automotive enthusiast who wants optimal performance at a competitive price. We have a range of turbochargers in both ceramic ball bearing and 360-degree journal bearing options to suit your power goals from 200 up to 3,000 horsepower. To help turbocharge your vehicle, Aeroflow Performance also have a large range of turbocharger accessories. From steam pipe turbo manifolds, external wastegates and intake and exhaust solutions, you can have your car boosted in no time. For a full listing, check out aeroflowperformance.com.
Well, welcome back here to Aeroflow Race for Real. And a huge thank you to our sponsors for their continued support of the place that we love. One thing I want to mention too, guys, at TGI Friday, the GMR skidders, who are very well known here at Sydney Dragway, they are actually putting up a prize for the burnouts. $500 for the best tip-in at TGI Friday, which is coming up on the 28th. So guys, if you haven't entered, get your entries in because I'm sure it's going to be pretty big. Well guys, one more round of applause please for Diablo. Got out there and gave it a crack and we will see that car back. Great stuff there from Boogie. Just couldn't get the tyres off in under 3 minutes. All right, next up on the pad, we've got Waffle. It's getting a little bit lost in the smoke. Let's see if Waffle can get those tyres off. Well, unfortunately there for Waffle, we're just going to get the tyres off, but good solid show on the pad from him. All right, we've got our last car that's about to hit the pad from Club Mang Nation. We got VX to fry. I apologise, that should be VX frying. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the last skid for this evening from VX Frying from Club Mang Nation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight's Aeroflow Race for Real. It was a good night of drag racing, good way to finish the night off too with some great burnouts. My name's Stuart White, and I will send you back upstairs to the boys up in the box, Stephen Bush and Mark Thomas.
Thank you very much, Stu, and what a fantastic evening of burnouts and drag racing that we've had here at Sydney Dragway. Of course, as always, if you're travelling home on the roads, be safe, stay warm. Look forward to seeing you here again at Sydney Dragway for next Wednesday, of course, our next Aeroflow Race for Real event here at Sydney Dragway. Keep your eyes on the track's website for all upcoming events and postings for activities happening at the racetrack. Mark, Stewie and I look forward to seeing you again here at Sydney Dragway in the very near future. Good night.
Everyone, have a safe trip home.